ready to start?
Well, better be.
Sure.
Don't be 11 minutes late. Cool.
Well, if you don't
In
mind
that-
me, like,
I
setting
blame
stuff up
Beanie.
while I go. As I go.
No, that's fine. We need to do the summary of previously on D&D. Anyway,
Yeah.
so previously on D&D, our adventurers found themselves caught by the Drow and imprisoned deep below the earth in the caverns of the Underdark. They were imprisoned in Drow outpost that they called Velkenvelv, led by a cruel priestess of Lolth.
Lol.
I'm just
The
waiting till he
Drow-
reads who we actually travelled with. Just wait for it.
The Drow forced
Go be beautiful.
our adventurers and the unfortunate other prisoners that they had taken to perform.
Damn it,
With their
you
names.
bypassed it.
Can't even get through the fucking previously on. To perform what they called hard labour. Several quite nasty tasks that could have very easily led to one or more of the Drow slaves being killed, just solely to amuse the Drow. After what seemed to be a very convenient situation where, I forget names because it's been 2 weeks, Kamar, the human paladin, found a set of keys to the cell and manacles in his pocket after waking up from unconsciousness after his entire hard labour team were battered into that state by one of the Drow elite warriors. The group managed to escape, jumping down into the webbing that shields Velkenvelv from below, and then into the river below that, where they were assaulted by a ooze that had seemingly got a bit aggressive with people entering its territory, I guess.
Fair.
They have rushed off deep into the tunnels, currently led by a Kuotoan by the name of Shushar, who is taking them to a place that he calls Sloop Ladoop, the Kuotoan port town next to the Dark Lake. You have all been running through the tunnels after a short break to take a meal. You carried on travelling for a good couple of hours before finally the events of the day have started to catch up with you, and you realise that at least some of you are going to start getting a lot slower just due to the natural fatigue starting to set in. And you realise that it's probably wiser to, if you wanted to stay in this group, to set up camp somewhat soon. What are you doing?
I'm
we
unconscious.
established that last session, didn't we?
That is very true.
We
I
were
travelling
Actually,
towards
been
Sloop
travelling
Ladoop, is it, to get the boat?
It's been a couple of hours actually. So no, as you're travelling, about
how many hours? Because I
it's been
was
a-
unconscious.
Between
well,
1 and 4.
kind of, it's been about 2.5 hours since the
I'm
group
awake
stopped to eat.
Oh, great.
And
No problem.
Come on.
How long has it been
you-
since I was unconscious? Because I was unconscious for 2 hours.
Well, rather than just going for the mechanics, let's actually make a narrative of it. Being as
okay.
it's a role play game and all.
How dare you?
You awaken uncomfortably. It seems like you feel something hard beneath your chest. You're kind of draped over something very bony and uncomfortable, and and also very smelly. Like it really isn't a very
full of
pleasant
ass.
position to be in.
Your head's up his butt.
Mm.
Oh dear.
Face full
Yeah,
of
it is.
hot.
It's. Oh yeah, sorry. You're not even sorry. You're not kind of draped so your stomach's over the shoulder of whoever's carrying you. You're actually kind of being held so your ankles are over the shoulder, and the rest of you is almost dragging down to the floor.
Oh yeah, he was wielding me as a weapon.
he
No,
was.
he was
using
protecting
back
himself
armor.
using you as a shield.
Same thing as to an orc.
So what do you do?
Okay. I take a quick look around, try to stay like totally stealthy like, and take a look around. Is everyone else looking like this is normal? This is fine.
Currently, you can't see anybody else.
You just see butt.
Yeah,
No,
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 nothing
you
towards the
can
back.
see. You can see behind you into the darkness, and there is a bit of torchlight going past. So you can see cavernous walls, fungus around the area as well. But you can't see anybody. You can hear noise, but it's coming from behind you, and you can't really get an angle to turn around in the position you're in.
As an aside, though, there will be light coming from me.
There is lights. I know it's not just Kamar who can't see from light, so you
It's
did.
me.
I can't see shit.
Yeah, I can't, so I need light.
So I look around as best I can. Is there any way of, like, I don't know, insighting this or something to see if I can tell the situation after I just woke up?
This would be I guess you could roll just a straight wisdom check, just plus your wisdom modifier, just a gut feeling on the situation.
I'll do that. So not insight, just wisdom.
Just wisdom. Like, you can't see any faces, and you're not really talking to people, so it's not insight isn't relevant there.
That is fine. So that's just a straight up D20.
Yep.
No. Okay, apparently you can't right click. There you go. 8. Good job, me.
Oh dear.
Do you have any plus to that from your wisdom?
No, I have plus 0 wisdom.
He's
You
a
get
wise
a-
paladin.
Very uncomfortable feeling in this, and it's not just because you're being dangled from your ankles. This is not a dignified position to be fighting in. Like, you're honestly surprised that your sword has stayed in its scabbard while you're in this position.
I don't have a sword, I have a flail.
Oh.
Does a flail have a scabbard?
I'd
I think you'd
assume.
loop it onto your
You'd loop it
I
onto
assume
something.
you have
Actually,
it
no,
looped somewhere.
It's got to
That
have some
would
sort of
actually
a
be
way
easier to-
position, but
That'd actually stay on easier, I think, than a scabbard, although scabbard lock, I guess. Either way, this would not be a position to fight in.
I
So-
immediately start thrashing. Wait, do I know it's the orc that's carrying me?
It stinks. You just because of the angle you're at, you really can't kind of turn around and get a good view of anything.
In
it's
that
just
case,
awkward shit.
start screaming, "Unhand me, vile scum!" Start flailing violently to try and
Immediately, stars fill your eyes as you drop the foot to the floor, head first onto the stone, and you just hear, "All right then," and
Do I fall unconsciously?
footsteps nearest to you carry on. You don't take any damage from it. It's just a
I was
very
about to
uncomfortable.
say, please don't knock him unconscious again.
You
Okay.
are
Mechanically, I've
you
got
are.
1 health, right? Mechanically, I've got 1
Yes.
health.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
I then have. I don't have my spells yet because technically, while I've got level 2, we haven't rested yet.
Yep.
So I don't have any healing spells anyway. I use my. Nope, Mav lay on hands. Never mind. Moving on.
Okay then.
So you are now
I
kind of
take another assessment of the situation. Can I see anything now that my vision is not full of orc butt?
you look up, and although the orc has kind of carried on moving, at least until he realizes what you see now, the rest of the group is in fact still here, and they, at least for the majority, they seem to have stopped to assess what's just happened. I would assume that Ren and Cobalt and Flint would probably not just carry on and ignore this.
Well,
Yeah,
actually, can I
good
point out
assumption.
which type of tunnel are we in? In the thin one, the
this
medium one, or
tunnel
the wide
is-
one?
This tunnel is about 10 feet wide right now. There is
we
a
actually-
very small stream that kind of takes up half a foot along the right side of it, like just going alongside the wall.
Do you want to show us
And
our
there is-
pathing then?
It's not hugely relevant here. You
that
can
case,
move enough that
I'm
you
going
can
to
all
assume
see
he's actually
this.
fairly far away, so I don't care.
Although,
Right.
do we have
probably
to be
just tripped.
looking at the? Do we have to be looking at the Drow Rangers right now?
I just had it on that for a nice little image to start off with.
Drow
gonna say,
Rangers.
I think.
Do
Have
you
you not
want to
just made,
force the random? You've not forced us to change map.
has that worked?
No, I
That does
yeah,
work for
yeah.
me.
I was
Well,
gonna say I clicked
the
it.
triple ones, the triple sort of chasms.
Yeah,
well-
I'm on that now, but I was still on Drow until a moment ago. I've
Yeah, well, he's
switched.
25 feet away from me, so I'm going to assume that what I heard was someone tripping over or something. It isn't exactly a flat floor.
Well, no, you do hear unhand me, orc, and you
I
know that he was being
specifically
carried by
said
the
vile
orc.
scum because I didn't know it was a.
Sorry,
orc.
vile scum.
I just knew it smelt bad.
Yeah, then I heard the sound of him letting
I-
go, so problem solved. Right?
I will.
Fair enough.
Right.
I
I
will
stand
just
up.
say to him, next time, don't start fights.
Okay. This is immediately started a fight with me. Okay, so
Oh
I
my
then-
god, Mike!
At which
I
point the
then
orc
say
turns,
I
which
like
point
fighting.
the orc turns around and goes, "Yeah, at least not ones you can't win." And
Oh
carries
my
on
god.
moving
to
Okay,
the
I
things.
I headbutt him again.
For
Oh, for
Really?
fuck's sake!
Bearing in mind, he's a good 10 feet ahead of you at this point as well. He
I
kind of
run
you
up to him
have
and
only just
headbutt him.
woken up.
roll an attack
I
roll.
won't-
Stop
the
being
line
a
I'm going
shitlord.
is I will not yield to an orc. That has not
You're
changed.
not yielding
I'm not
to
just being
anyone.
difficult.
No,
I'm
no,
not a smart man.
You
That's
role
fair.
play an idiot too well, Mike. That's the thing.
I
I
will
don't
not.
think it's role playing anymore.
You're not yielding to him. He
probably
let you
literally-
go.
Well, I will probably
Oh,
literally not stand for this
What
orc
are we
shit.
on here?
I will.
What's
I will
range on?
say, can you guys not? You should be censored on my view here.
We are now, yeah.
It's just, I saw the orc move, so I didn't know if that was you or someone else.
No, I was just saying he's basically moved to get as well, just to carry on his journey as much as he could, but now he's kind of blocked by the people in front of him. He is next to you, Cabal. If you're wanting to do something, as you see Kamar get up and start rushing towards the orc.
I get in the way.
In that case, it'll be a initiative roll between the two of you to see who acts
God.
first.
I was looking forward to some fighting, I'll tell you that. I was expecting to fight someone
11.
from the Underdark.
Initiative is +1 for me. So, copy. But oh,
Yeah.
So
Well-
Cobalt acts first and steps between you and the orc. Are you actively
will-
going to try and like
well,
grab him? or-
I'm- the way I'm
I will
seeing it
just.
now.
I'll just. There's no need to fight.
You
We need to be allies
shall
until we
not
get to the surface.
pass.
the way I'm seeing this happen right now is the whole like, no, he ain't worth it. He ain't worth it. He's like holding me back kind of thing. I'm showing strength here to the point where like I'm not yielding to this orc, but I also recognize the situation. I don't really want to fight, but I can't not fight if the situation is. I'm being a macho idiot is my point here.
I will also sort of very quietly lean forward and just so, not like super quiet, so it looks like I'm planning anything with him, but just more for Kamar's sake. I'll just say, it doesn't help that I'm out of healing at the moment either. If you go down, you may actually die here.
As you kind of discussing this, Jim Jar kind of steps forward and goes, "Perhaps Runt could take his combat expertise up to the front of the group. Wouldn't hurt to have such a big burly guy right at the front there." And although
We'd be lacking at the back then.
As far as I can see, you're already lacking at the back.
could you
Well,
roll me an
yes.
insight check there, Phil?
Yeah.
Insight. That will be +4, so 18.
You kind of get the feeling that Jim Jar is doing the let's separate the misbehaving kids thing, but let's not tell them that we're doing it just to separate them. Bit
And I
right
rolled
there.
that.
Go for it. Tell you what, I'll also roll for Ron. Oh, he's an orc. He got a nat 20.
Oh, he's in on
Looks
this.
Down at Jim Jar. And
To be fair, surely
growls.
he doesn't want to keep fighting either,
He doesn't
necessarily.
give a shit. It's a good fight. He's already won it 3 times, I think. Two times?
Yep.
Yeah,
I
I think it's 3 times.
I want to argue, but it's very much going in one direction.
I mean, when
Yeah,
someone
you're-
starts a
you're-
fight with you, you just can't help but win,
I'll just
Beanie,
kind
right?
of sign just if you
13
must.
for the record. If
I
it,
think
if
you're
it
cutting out a
matters.
bit there, by the way, Laurie.
Huh?
As a heads up. I think your microphone was cutting out a bit there, by the way, as a heads up.
I can't do anything about that. So let me know if it keeps happening.
Seems a bit better that time. I don't know if it was just you a bit further away from your mic
I'll
or
just
something.
kind of
right?
sign just
All right.
if you must.
13 for the record.
So sorry. What are you doing, Phil?
Sounds okay
I'll
on
say
stream.
if you think it would be best.
Ront, in that case, does step forward and moves past the party to take up the front position next to or ahead of Flynn.
I'm sorry.
Oh, great.
I'm sorry. In advance, I'm sorry. I say, yeah, walk away.
I'm just gonna visibly just.
How
Roll
the character would do it.
Intimidation at disadvantage.
Why disadvantage? I could have
You,
Because
your
he's beaten you
shit
down
is
3
why.
I fucking have him. I swear on me, ma'am.
He's beat you down 3 times, and you're on 1 hit point. He can blow in your general direction, and he'll fucking have you, mate.
I'll fucking
He
have
could
you. I swear
fart
on
in
me,
your
ma'am.
general
We're having a
direction.
laugh, mate. You having a giggle?
On the plus side,
15.
on the plus side, Ront's charisma save
Uh,
for this was a natural 1, so
Mike,
he doesn't hear you. We'll say.
just as an aside, it's Oh, you've got +2. Yeah, never mind. Ignore me.
I actually have
Rod just-
intimidation.
Yeah, it
Rob
was
just
more just I
carries on
thought you were
forward.
only rolling d20s there, and
No,
not
no,
adding
+2.
charisma.
It seems like he didn't hear you, as far as you can tell.
Oh, thank fuck.
And assuming that nobody else wants to do anything, the journey can continue.
Right. So he's gone from the most sort of aggressive member of the party next to the other guy who he's been fighting with.
I would like just to say that's 1 for me. I won that one.
He's kind of ignoring you right now, Flint.
I guess you got the moral
He-
victory.
It's a victory. I'm lacking in those. I'll take it.
At this point, Eldith does kind of speak and say, just to remind you all, we are being pursued here. We should probably get a move on. Just go
I'm like,
now.
wait,
maybe?
wait, what? Pursued? What?
Are we?
Yeah, probably. They're going to
This-
go
I
find
can
us.
us.
assume we're
First
being
time hearing of it.
pursued.
You think those drow are just going to let slaves get away?
They seem pretty preoccupied with whatever was attacking them for the time
Yeah, for
being.
now, they'll not come and find us. I mean, they know the area, so they'll likely just run after where they think we've gone. We need
Just
to make
means
some
we've got a
distance.
head start.
Mm,
I mean, no, I this is the first I've heard of it since I've been unconscious for like all of this. So
It's the first.
this is news.
most-
This is news to me.
No, I think it was discussed during the mealtime.
Yeah,
Fairly sure it was. Yeah.
we were
I
talk-
was
we talked about
I
it.
think we
with-
said we want to get more distance. I didn't think we
Yeah.
particularly said we necessarily pursue us.
I was
hard around.
I
preoccupied
think
with.
it's a good assumption that they're pursuing us, considering
It is,
we're
but
a
how long have
massive
we been,
group of escaped slaves.
how long have we been traveling at this point?
Couple of hours.
2
I think
hours
you said
either
this
side
was
of the
about
fungus
2
break.
hours since the meal.
Mhm.
So
And
how
it's 2
long?
hours up to the meal, so about four and a
Four
half hours. It's hard to tell.
It's hard.
like-
It's hard. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Underground.
So
yeah.
wait, how long has it been since we woke up then? this point.
You had the day of hard labor before then, so
Did we?
you're
Yeah, it's a
basically
while.
your internal clock is telling you you are tired. Like even you, who only needs 4 hours sleep, it's
Yeah.
a late night right now. You can only
Oh.
assume.
What about me? I've had plenty of sleep.
Yeah,
Not
but it's
rest.
not,
Not
the kind of it's not that
exactly
kind
the
of sleep.
same.
I know.
I'll say then perhaps we should think about resting soon.
That seems like a
Getting
big plan.
distance between us and them is all well and good, but if we're in no state to fight afterwards, when they catch up to us, we'll soon become prisoners again.
Even as you say this, Turvey, the male of the Smurf Neblin twins, lets out a big yawn, and the Quaggoth, Prince Derendel, says, "Yes, that would seem good. The little ones do seem to be getting tired. Does anybody have knowledge of the caverns that they might be able to scout out a suitable camping site?"
Is this
Uh,
sorry? Does he mean more like just general knowledge of the area, or just generally
Yeah.
knowledge of the Underdark?
Knowledge of being able to basically survive in the wilderness, survive in the Underdark. So that would be a survival
Survival
check
check.
kind of thing.
I
is
don't
what he's-
suppose would Deep Delver help this as well, or is that just for finding
No,
food?
that's just for fungus. I would say that gives you. No, that would just be for the food, unfortunately.
I mean, I do have survival. I'm not proficient in it, but wisdom and all. I don't know if that is it. Sort of, it'll be a roll at a disadvantage, or
It's finding a campsite. It's just a survival check.
just straight survival. I'll say
Yeah.
I may be able to, but assistance would be helpful.
I'm
I will
actually,
help.
Or
I'm
I can
actually going
assist someone
to.
who's more knowledgeable.
I'm going to
will
assist
help.
Eldith because I've been talking
Yeah,
to her a
Eldith
lot
seems
about
like
the
she knows what
Underdark
she's
because it's
doing.
not something I know a huge amount about. So when we're saying we're looking for a campsite, she knows the business. So
Yeah.
going
Perhaps
on with
myself
the
and
knowledge
Ren,
she's given me.
perhaps myself and Renland check in one direction, and Kamar and Kobold check in another. Then
I found all of those mushrooms. I feel like it's quite easy to scout around down here.
As a side note, did you call them Smurf and Eblin?
Smurf and Eblin, yeah.
I swear you called them Smurf and Eblins.
I thought
Matt,
I said Smurf, but I
what
might have
race
said
are you?
Smurf. I'm
We're having a
extremely
smurfing
tired.
good time.
So,
What's it,
Mike,
sorry?
you said you were
What
going to
ra-
assist
what race
me,
are
didn't
you?
you?
Sure.
Dwarf.
Oh, this is someone.
Cool.
Dwarf.
Durf.
I will head off with Kamar then, because we both require light anyway, and just
Makes
have
sense.
a look around.
Put all of the blind people in one group. Good plan.
Okay. The well,
Great
actually,
idea.
the light disappears, but nobody who remains is actually affected by that.
Yeah, that's fine. I wasn't being
Phil?
sarcastic.
Can you roll me 2 survival
once.
checks? Oh, survival advantage, sorry. And I'll roll for Eldif. You're giving her advantage, you said, didn't you, Larry?
I don't roll anything, do I?
She has
21.
+5 bonus, so
I think this is the first time I've ever actually helped anyone with anything. I don't roll anything, right?
No, you give the
don't know. It
advantage.
just gives him
Cool.
advantage.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Like, it sounds funny, but it's accurate. I don't think I've ever helped anyone with anything in D&D in
The
any
help
of the
action is
games.
actually a very underused action that is extremely useful.
Yeah.
I was like, if I try to
With
do it, I'll
stuff
end
like
up.
survival, it's brilliant.
If I end up actually doing it on my own without helping someone, I'm going to bring back more acid shrooms.
So that was your roll as
Yeah.
21, yeah, Phil?
Mine was 21 total.
Okay. So, after, well, basically, Eldif and Renlin head off in the direction you're actually going, saying they'll check out the nearby corridors and see if there's anywhere that looks like a defensible position, whilst Kamar and Cobalt head in the opposite direction, actually going back the way you came to check out a few of the tunnels that you passed. Although Eldif and Renlin reappear about 15 minutes later, Cobalt and Kamar are a little later, about 20-25 minutes. Although you guys actually managed to check out a small corridor that seemed to go down about 500 feet, actually a ramp declining, unfortunately, which you're not a big fan of, but then it ends in a completely dead-end room, a fairly large circular room, maybe 100 foot in diameter.
I'll relay this to the group.
I was there.
Well
I
done.
helped. I'm helping.
Are you all going to basically just head there and set up camp for the night then?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. In that case, you'll get there. You can gather you're not hugely hungry since you had a meal like mid-route, but
Again, what did a meal do?
a few of the NPCs, Jim Jar, Shushar, and Runt specifically, all kind of gather a few mushrooms as they're moving. Although Runt is just kind of picking at random, the other two seem to know a little more about what they're picking,
Yeah,
and they all just kind of
the same.
snack
Is there
as the camp's
anything
being set up.
anything I can
I'd
do
probably
as
do the
we're
same,
going
just
to
find
try
find
and
extra food where
cover
I
our
can.
tracks a bit?
Yeah, you can make a survival. Is it survival or is it a stealth? It is a survival check.
A survival
survival.
check.
Yeah.
If possible, I'd like to just specifically cover the fact we're going into this side corridor.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm not too worried about just have them think we've gone past
So
it, we're going back.
Basically, disguise the fact that you're going back on yourselves and
then
into
going
this
into
corridor.
that side corridor. Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense. So that'll be a wisdom survival check.
Okay. That's 15.
Eldith actually offers assistance with this, so you get advantage on it as well.
That's still
Like
15.
seeing what you're doing. Fair enough. You're fairly confident that you've done a good job of it. It looks.
It's at the very least, it's something.
Yeah. So eventually, after about 10 minutes, you'll find your way into this cavern. And
Do we want to
What-
draw the cavern? Sorry, on the map.
I don't. Well, I'm not gonna draw every tunnel in the Underdark here. You're gonna come
Yeah, that's
across
fine.
a lot.
Yeah.
If we encounter
Only if it's
something, then we'll
needed.
draw it, but other than that, it's really not relevant.
Yeah.
Okay.
These three
Sorry,
tunnels
carry on.
should be, and although I should probably have a campsite, admittedly for order, but we'll sort that out another time. What are you guys actually doing for your campsite? What
I
preparations are you taking? What are you doing?
I set up a sleeping arrangement for myself, and then saying, in the middle of saying something pretty irrelevant, immediately just pass out. I'm done.
I would
I've had a
just-
very trying day.
I'll I'll say we need to sort watchers.
No,
We
I'm
should have a
blacked out.
few people on at any given time.
Gone.
Yeah, that sounds a good plan.
Is
I'm
there
fine,
anywhere-
I'm fine taking watch.
Like covered in moss or something that looks comfortable?
As soon as Flint says that, Ron actually shouts out, "You think I'm letting a stinking dwarf watch over me while I sleep?"
I wake
can
up.
take-
Don't
Shut
shout.
up.
My
I
racist
guess we're
senses are
taking watch
tingling.
together then.
I
Roll
just
a
say
persuasion
Flint.
check.
I say Flint. We can watch together.
A persuasion check, you say?
Mm-hmm. What were you saying, Laurie? You're looking for a mossy bit or something.
Yeah,
18.
just something that looks comfortable and that's not rock.
Roll an investigation check.
Oh boy, I get to roll
Because
something.
yes, as Renlin has just kind of realised, and Kamar kind of was too tired to realise, you have no sleep, no bedrolls or anything. You are literally just, it is hard rock you'll be sleeping on this night.
10.
Yep.
Although for a
Face-
lot of you, you're just too tired to be that
I
bothered by
face
it.
planted a rock and fell asleep.
You're not sure if he's asleep or unconscious, considering
Might be
that,
dead.
but-
You don't know.
It's also a case of we
Stone
don't
doesn't
really
bother me
have
too
much
much.
choice.
It's kind of my thing.
So you don't find anything particularly comfortable. Unfortunately, it seems that this room is just entirely a rocky cavern. It doesn't actually seem to have that much fungus in it either, considering the tunnels nearby did have a lot. That actually surprises you. What'd you get? Sorry, Flint.
18.
The dwarf just kind of the orc snarls at you and goes,
That's racist.
"All right, oh, that'll work." And he
And neither of us are watching over each other.
and he goes and takes a sits down near the tunnel itself.
Also, could you do me a favour and force my screen to wherever you guys are, because I can't actually find you on the map. I've lost you.
This is
Okay.
literally all I've done.
Yeah, that's it's like I
yeah.
zoomed out a little bit too far, and then I couldn't zoom back. When I zoomed back
yeah.
out,
Fair
I
enough.
lost you.
So, Ront and Flint, and do you say Cobalt's also staying up for this watch?
I'll go for a separate. Well, how many people are saying they're going to be on watch? Is
Right now, 2 people have said they're being on watch, Ron and Flint, and they're
Anyone
together
else?
specifically.
I'll
Nope.
say, as a bare minimum, we'll need one more watch, and I could use someone up with me, especially if they have dark vision, so I don't require a light.
Jim Jar kind of pats you on the side and says, "Guess I'll stay up with the stone man, but I'll tell you what, I'll do 2 hours of it if the fishman will do the other 2 hours. I ain't staying up. I ain't only getting 4 hours kip this evening."
That's well. What does Shushar say then?
He just nods, doesn't actually say anything.
Okay, I just say that's fine with me. How long
Just
are
imagine
we
speaking
covering with
Murloc.
2 watches?
Sorry.
How long are we covering with 2 watches? 'Cause you need 8 hours for a rest, don't you?
Yeah, and at least 6 of that needs to be sleep, I believe is how it works.
Yeah,
Like you can have like a 2-hour watch within that, but
Well, it's basically you can't have more than 2 hours as watch.
Mhm.
So yeah,
you'll need a sec. Basically, if you wanted to do this, you'll need a. Actually, no. So sorry, that'll be. No, because you need
So,
4 hours meditating.
yeah, but it's more It depends how you want to decide it. Like I
I'm gonna
only need 4 hours sleep.
I'm going to
well,
say that has to be full sleep, so you do have to get at least 4 hours sleep. That way,
Yeah,
you've still got 4 hours of the 8-hour rest that you don't need.
Yeah, it's more
need to
just
sleep
I
and
still
rest.
have to get the 8 hours for the rest, but I only need
Yeah,
4
but
hours of that to be asleep.
I get you. Yeah. So basically, you have an
So-
extra 2 hours compared to other people.
It's basically I can spend 2 hours reading a book or something if we have books or whatever.
And
But
you
right
can-
right now, there's
It's a
basically
strange
one watch
invention.
that hasn't been taken.
I'll say we need another 2 people if possible.
Eldith, steps forward and says, I can stay up. I can take the second, I guess. That'll work. Probably best if we're seemingly doing this in pairs, though. Who wants to stay up with me? At which point, nobody seems to be raising a hand here.
If no
I
one's
say,
willing to volunteer, I can take a second watch.
Well, you're taking.
Well,
first
you're
with
already on a
Ront,
watch.
aren't you?
Yeah, I can take a second watch if no one else is going to volunteer.
Well, what I'll say is
You are-
if Eldith takes 3rd watch, I'm trying to think here. If I take 1st watch,
Basically,
then I still need to sleep.
So far, you've got enough to have 3 of those watches as pairs and 1 of those watches as one person. You've got 7 people willing to be. 6 people willing to be on watch, and 1 of those people can take 2 watches. Wow,
Why,
this is getting much more mathematical than I expected it to.
Sorting out watch
Wait,
with D&D is difficult.
Is it Cobalt? Is it
Especially when
Cobalt
you've
that
got
can
9
take 2
NPCs as
watches?
part of it. Sorry?
I can't take 2 watches.
Okay, so
take
it's
one.
just Flint at the moment is saying he's can do 2 watches.
No,
Well,
you can't take 2 watches. You're taking 4 hours because you don't.
Well, I thought to get my long rest, I can only do 2 hours watch, regardless.
No. You can do 4 hours watch.
You're saying I can do 4 hours
sleep.
watch, can I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, you get an
in
extra
which
2 hours each night that you can do extra stuff.
Yeah, no, I was saying I
It's watch-
volunteered to take a second watch.
Well, I'll obviously volunteer to do that if I can. Then I'll stay up with Eldith as well.
Yep. You're both risking exhaustion for that, but that's fine.
I'll do a
you're
watch
not-
when I wake
Well, I
up.
still
and-
only.
You're
even
not
if
in this
I'm getting
conversation
4
right
hours
now.
sleep.
Yeah, if
I
no
know.
one else is willing to
'cause-
do the watch, then I will take a second watch even if it means I'm tired.
So far, the way you guys have said this to me, Flint and Ron are taking the first watch. Second watch is being taken by Flint and Cobalt. The third watch is being taken by Cobalt and Jim Jar, and the final watch is being taken by Cobalt and Shushar, which
That's
is
me
6
taking
hours away.
3 watches.
Exactly.
I
No,
said I'd only do
wasn't
2.
Eldif going to take one?
I'm so
Eldith-
confused.
Yeah, Eldif was
Tell you
going to
what.
take a watch.
You've got enough people here. We'll just say that Eldith is taking with Flint on the second watch. Flint is
Okay.
staying up for an extra watch, and Cobalt is doing his 4 hours. Okay.
Okay.
That work?
Yeah,
We're okay with that.
Gotcha.
And just
Alright,
throw a
actually,
spanner in the
let's
works.
move on
As
to the
soon as I
actual
wake
D&D
up, I
game.
demand that I go and watch.
When
You don't wake up until the morning. Like you'll tell you what. So, as the night goes on, Flint, you are the first to be on watch. You are accompanied by the smelly orc as the rest of the group go to sleep. Most of them just kind of finding a place to keep the twins kind of curling up together. Bupido finding a area on the floor separate from everybody else. Sarandel, Drow, moving next to a wall and kind of curling up against it, almost in a fetal position. Darendil taking a very larger portion of the cavern as he basically stretches out, as trying to get as comfy as possible for about half an hour before he finally just realizes that he's probably not going to get comfortable on this floor. And Stool kind of just popping up next to Cobalt, who is. How does Cobalt sleep? By the way, I pictured it as like rope just on his feet.
I kind of imagine he just kind of sits cross-legged almost.
In that case, you
Just on the floor.
Power
You
save.
sit cross-legged and go completely still, watching the entrance. 'Cause I believe you can still see while you're sleeping.
Yeah, I'm still aware of everything. I just can't act, I
And
suppose, the way.
As you do that, Stool kind of steps up next to you and just kind of plops down the entire mushroom cap, reaching down to the floor now. It kind of shivers and then just goes still.
He plops it down.
Still
and
plops.
the rest of them all just kind of find sleeping areas and just go to sleep with no real specific uniqueness. As the watch goes on, the entire 2 hours, pretty much taken up by Ronce grumbling and bitching about his basic situation. You don't see anything during the night. You don't hear anything beyond the drip that you've that's kind of filled the air. Actually, now you start to think about it, like you hadn't quite noticed it until now, but yeah, it's not the sound of the waterfall back in Velkenvelve. Like you can't hear that anymore. It's just drip, drip, echoing down the corridors. Not sure where that's coming from. After that 2 hours is up, Ron moves away, kind of collapses on the floor somewhere, completely not realizing that his original argument of I'm not having a dwarf watch over me still kind of relates there, but oh well, he's not willing to get exhausted for it. The second watch is Flint and was it Cobalt or Eldif, did we say?
I think it was
Eldith.
Eldif. Yeah, it was Eldif, yeah.
In that case, you wake up Eldif to sit with you. She kind of looks over you and says, "You sure you're all right to take a second watch? I don't mind taking it alone if you need to get a bit of kit."
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
All right. And with that, she sits on watch with you. She seems willing to make small talk with you if you are willing to talk back.
Oh, definitely.
Do you ask her anything particular, or you talk about anything particular? Or
She said she's from the sort of caves closer to the surface, didn't she?
She told you she was from Gauntlgrim, a dwarven stronghold, which, especially as a dwarf, you know that the dwarven strongholds are basically like links between the surface and the underworld. They
kind of it's like the gateway between the two.
Yeah,
a giant guardhouse.
There are other ways between the worlds, but usually dwarves basically they set up their minds and their homes on like connecting to the surface because they make their trade with all the humans and other surface dwellers. Gauntlgrim, actually, you also know of. It's a very ancient dwarven stronghold that was lost until very recently when the Battlehammer tribe retook it under the name of the King Bruno Battlehammer. It's currently very underpopulated for its size.
I just basically just ask sort of small bits and pieces about it. What's it like there? How big is it? Tell me if it's grandeur.
She is happy to talk about it. She fawns over it. She tells you it is glorious. It is filled with the masterpieces of yours and her ancestors. It is a testament to dwarven building, and she can only hope that it regains its former glory, especially with the metalworks and the great furnace deep below it.
Her mentioning metalworks, I'd probably perk up a bit.
Tell you what, make me a history check.
Wait, would this be? But this one, stone cutting wouldn't come under this, would it?
No.
Just be a flat history check.
Well, I would say you have advantage at this because you are a dwarf. Dwarfs are obsessed with their ancestors by nature.
Cool. In that case,
is this like dirty talk?
8.
I love me some metalwork, I do.
Exactly, right? Let me get that into it.
Like getting a sweat on while I weld.
Oh, tell me about the grinding wheels. Oh, tell me about the forge.
You know that there is a great forge built around a primordial. These are almost like demigods. He is a being that supposedly was captured and had this forge basically built around him. The forges themselves powered by this primordial's burning power. And it's said that back when it was a working furnace for Dwarfkin, it churned out some of the greatest masterpieces, weapons, armor, and other metalwork known to the dwarf kind.
So is it kind of defunct now?
You have not heard about it. Are you actually asking her that?
Yeah.
She says, no. Some of the forges need repairing, but there's still one or two that have the connections right. In fact, the primordial himself, he actually got loose during the battle for the foregone Glugrim. But Bruno Battlehammer and his companions trapped it back in its place, and it's once more the furnaces. The potential there. It's I wish to get home.
I'd like to pay these furnaces a visit when we're done here.
Can you make me a general charisma check, Matt?
General charisma, who's that? 5.
That's not gone well.
Again, advantage because just your dwarvish nature here.
5.
Still 5.
Yeah, in that
wow.
case, never mind. It's not a huge thing. Don't worry.
You just started saying, "Ooh, I love me some forge."
Eventually, the conversation draws to a close, and you both feel it's time to. You especially feel it's time to go back to sleep. Waking up
to sleep.
Waking up Cobalt and Jimjar for the next watch.
You don't even have to wake me up. I probably just hear him coming. I'm just like, I'm awake.
And
yeah.
I probably heard that whole conversation. To be fair.
Yeah, you're completely aware. Elder just gives you a smile as she goes to her where she made her bed. For you, Cobalt, it's pretty much the same. Jimjar quite happily sits and chats with you, whether you want it or not, really.
I would quite happily talk with him as long as we're not being too loud, so we can still hear his thing.
He is smart. He keeps his voice down. At one point, he says, "So, how much gold that we get? Least, how certain are you of this location and its hidden value? Like, willing to make a small wager on it? There's half the night left, so the odds are in your favor."
What is this, the Hunger Games?
What are we hidden from? What? From the drought?
Well, hidden from everything.
From everything.
I would simply make a small wager, say 15 gold. 15 gold. When you get hold of it, don't worry, I don't need it right now.
I did
15 gold.
I did get some off him last session, didn't I? Though.
Hey, did he throw money at you?
Yeah, because he was like, "Oh, I'll give money to anyone that can eat this and not."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not feel the effects, and I was like, "All right, I'm a warforged. What do I care?"
Like,
oh yeah,
magic
Yeah,
stone
I've
man.
got 15 gold. I just kind of smile at him, just trying to win your money back. Very well.
Just trying to make a wager, just trying to fill the boringness, fill the boredom. That's it. 15 gold that we see something tonight before we rise from our camp and leave this tunnel.
You need to find something. Take him to the cleaners.
I'll
Something
say,
other than us. Kind of gesturing
That's
at
easy, but
you
still
in the
doable.
camp.
can I do a general insight check on this?
Yeah, go for it.
24.
So far, what you've told from Jim Jar, or what you've seen from Jim Jar, and what this your insight here kind of suggests is he enjoys his wagers, and it's so far he's not done anything to be unfair about them. He seems to take pleasure in the actual gamble.
It's more just, yeah, I'm making sure it's not he knows something we perhaps don't, and is making a bet that he knows is in his favor, perhaps.
He kind of gives off a cocky look as if he does know something, but it's not so much that he knows that something's like.
It's
you're not
not
so
that
sure it's relevant to the bet, so to speak.
Yeah. I'll just say, very well, and I'll put my hand out to where I think he is, where he's been talking from, because obviously I can't see.
Oh, you actually not got a light on for this then?
No, I want. That's why I specifically asked for someone with the dark vision.
I get you. In that case, you feel him reach forward and grasp your hand. I'm assuming your hand is probably quite big, even for a medium creature, just being
possibly
made of stone and stuff. So he basically, it's like a toddler holding shaking the hand of a grown up here.
I bet it feels huge in this hand.
God damn it, Deadpool, get out of this conversation.
I'll go back to making small talk with him as well.
After that, he carries on talking. He's quite happy to chat. He doesn't really chat with anything. He doesn't offer forth anything substantial. However, are you going to try and alter the conversation in any specific way to get information, or?
No, I'll just ask him like the usual things, like where you're from, kind of thing. I wouldn't try and push it, just kind of generally.
I'm from Blingdenstone, the Swerfneblin, City of Gems. It's
it's a city of Germans.
Great, now I can't unhear Smurf Neblin City of Germans. Thanks, guys.
Was ist
I
das?
just can't say words in front of you guys. It's
Das ist a Smurfing good time.
Lovely city. A lot of potential in its ores and gems around that area. Just some unfortunate business with the drow that caused us problems over the last decade or so. But it's retaken now, just mostly.
Just the occasional interference from drow.
Drow, ghosts, were-rats. Strange things. Anyway, and that seems to be all he kind of offers before he starts moving on to other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's a too much roleplay in your roleplay game, Laurie. So eventually he ends up going to sleep, and you awaken Shushar for his watch, or he awakens Shushar before going to bed, as he can see. And Shushar kind of steps forwards, sitting nearby as you're watching into the tunnel. He sits quite quietly. Oh, you almost think he's in meditation. How he sits. Are you going to try and spark up conversation with him, or?
I'll leave it a little bit, but I will ask him
Might
a little
need it.
bit about about the town we're heading to, because it was his town we're heading to, isn't it? Or his kind's town, anyway.
You are the first to speak in this conversation. It's not that, yeah, you don't get the feeling that he's being rude to you or anything. He's just
No, it's just that's the way
quiet.
he is.
Eventually, when you do speak and you ask, he says, "I do not know much of Sloop-the-Doop in recent years. I have not been there for many sleeps. I have been away, awakening. But I will take what I have found back to my people. Make them better for it.
What do you mean, awakening?
I have found another way for life. My kin are cruel. I do not believe in that. I am awakened."
Fair enough.
Hmm.
I'll probably just leave it at that with him, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Unless he offers up any more conversation.
He for the entire watch, he doesn't initiate anything. He again, not out of rudeness, just out of he doesn't feel anything to like. You very much get the sense that he is as comfortable as he can be, basically in a mental situation. Like, he does give off the very surprising thing of a meditation guru of sorts. Like, he seems to have that attitude at this point. Like, he's that relaxed and calm despite the situation. Eventually, everybody starts to rise and awaken as the sleep fades. Flint is still snoring away, having taken 2 watches. Until somebody actively wakes him, he will be slumbering.
Well, given it's the end of my long rest, then I'll go about spell prep and my armor.
As soon as you start to do that, you hear a bit of noise nearby, as if something small is moving near you.
I will. Excuse me. I'll just ask.
No.
Does anyone mind me turning on my light?
Am I?
There's
Words.
a bit of quiet, followed by a gruff, "Oh, what you want to call everything down here to us?" And then that's interrupted by the by Jim Jogger going, "Aye, best we have everybody being able to see down here, just in case something does turn up. I've still got me 15 gold to make after all."
I say, well, and I'll put the light on, and I'll say, so far it's not looking good for you.
As soon as you put the light on, you notice that Stool has basically skidded up right next to you and plonked down again next to you.
I figured it would have been.
As soon as the light goes on, I wake up with a start saying, "They must all burn!" Oh, I wake up with a start.
Topsy and Turvy, who were probably the nearest to you as you were sleeping, curled up together in a corner, kind of start awake from Kamar doing this as well, and kind of skitter away, moving towards the where Cobalt and Stool now are.
I don't have my health back yet.
Yes, long rest gives you all your health.
Yeah.
And half your hit dice.
Yay.
If you've spent hit dice.
I think
I don't know if you did or not.
Have we all
I
slept
know you
yet,
guys
or we're
technically
still
had a
going?
short rest where you ate. So
I
Yeah.
didn't get to use hit die though because
that's because you started a fight
Because you
during
were
the short rest.
unconscious.
a little bit, yeah. How many hit die am I supposed
Just
to
a
have?
little bit.
You should have 2 hit dice for level 2.
Okay, I haven't updated that then.
I do not think I've actually used up any of my hit die.
Not many of you actually took damage, to be fair. Like, a lot of it was damage on
I'm
the
on.
NPCs.
I'm almost dead.
Alright.
Unconscious.
You shouldn't be, given well,
You
I've
guys,
got-
you guys have completed a long rest.
I was about to say, is Flint technically still resting?
He's still resting. He's still asleep.
Still asleep.
Good.
I don my armor.
Mhm.
And was attacked.
What your
Actually, how
armor
long does
scale
that
mail is
take?
it for you, do you?
Yeah,
Wizard
it's,
helmet.
it's the same as mine, isn't it? So that actually takes about 10 minutes anyway, I think.
Mythweaver doesn't track hit die, does it?
It's heavy, isn't it?
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
I just put it at the bottom of features and traits.
As you
Hit die 2 out of 10. 2 out of 2.
as you're doing that, seeing you go to put your armor on, the Dero Bipedo actually steps over and says, "Do you need help with that? I can give you help with that if you want."
He's wanting to help you into your armor, you say?
Yes. Like heavy armor, it is actually easier to don with extra help. It's not like he's asking to help dress you here. It is. It is a genuine offer. He is offering to help you with your heavy armor.
Me.
Yeah.
So otherwise it takes you 10 minutes.
Wait, what race is this person?
He is Darrow.
What?
He's tiny.
Oh,
You want
okay.
to roll a knowledge check for them, which would be a knowledge history.
Looks kind of like a gnome, right?
Yeah,
Do I know what a
Kinda
gnome
like
is?
almost like a cross between a Swerfneblin and a dwarf. And yes,
do
you
I
do
know
what
what
they
these? Okay, it's just some fuck ugly looking gnome then. Okay, no. I'm like, no, it's fine. Put on my own armor. Doing it since
I'll
I was
say
5.
we need... Flint needs to finish resting anyway. We're not ready to go quite yet. It may be worth some of us going to find some food for the day.
But I can't. But I
as
can't
you-
help you look.
As you say in this, Ront says, "And how long do you expect us to stay here for the stinking dwarf? I ain't planning on hanging around while the drow come down that tunnel and block off our only way out of here."
I point at the orc and say, "You are not very nice."
I say, my...
He just snarls.
I'll
If we've
just
had
say
our
my
rest, this is
companion-
going to wake me up.
Yeah, you're awake for this.
I just say my companion and creator took 2 watches so that the rest of us could sleep peacefully for the night. If we could at least afford him the rest that the rest of us have gotten.
I continue putting on my armor.
At this point, Jim Jar actually speaks up and says, "Much as I'd like to include our time around here and again go for that wager, I'm actually with dear old Runt here. We don't be hanging around a place any longer than we have to. He took the choice. We could have arranged for somebody else to be awake. There's plenty of us in the group.
And yet no one stepped forward.
And I say to them, they're welcome to leave.
I just
At this point, there is a awkward kind of looking around situation.
I'll just say
awkward.
we're not leaving, we're not splitting up.
Roll a intimidate check on Kamar and a persuasion check on Cabal.
As in, I'm rolling the intimidation check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm right. Okay, I'm with you.
Intimidation. So that's a.
Oh, sorry, I clicked twice there. 2.
Oh
That's
dear.
gone well. 10. That went much better for me.
Yeah, but you have charisma, and
do.
you're intimidating.
Yeah, I got a 10 with a +4.
I am not charisma, and I am not persuasive.
Apparently, I'm not charisma either, and I'm the paladin.
At this
It's
point,
gone well.
Rod just kind of turns and says, "Yeah, maybe some of us should go. Leave the dumb idiot who keeps getting himself knocked unconscious on his own here with the dwarf who's still unconscious because he's too stupid to judge how long he can stay awake for, and the stone man." At which
No,
point
you're
he
already
makes a
proving my
beeline for the exit tunnel.
I
Hold
just
on,
say,
hold
so
on.
you would
We
leave
should be
anyone who
combining
is
our
healing
fighting
you.
strengths.
And he turns to roll a persuasion check, Laurie.
My dad did say he was leaving all the healing behind as
Oh,
well.
that didn't go well.
I'll say you get advantage on that then, just through what
Thank you,
Cobalt just said.
Beanie. There we go. That's much better.
That's better. That's better.
Ron is already pissed about this, though, so he
Oh, excuse me.
carries on to the door and kind of stands there expectantly to look to see if anybody else is making a move towards him. You actually see some of the NPCs are looking around, actually judging this, and Topsy and Turvy seem to be very much considering and actually start edging forwards.
A bit of a mechanical question here, I suppose. If someone was to carry Flint,
it's not a restful sleep.
Okay.
Like that's not restful.
So what if you're carrying him in like a stretcher or a sling kind of thing? So it's like it's an actual like. I'm just saying, like if you were doing that, you're basically carrying him on a bed. That's like kind of how that's designed for.
At that point, you're basically trading him getting exhaustion for no, it'd still be unrestful. You still kind of it's not like a car journey where you can sleep and just it's mild bumps. This is actually people walking. It'd be bump, 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 bump kind of thing.
Not only that, but if you start going uphill, he then ends up being upside down, kind of. Not good for your sleep.
And it is very much inclines, declines.
I'll just say, very well, but when next we rest, more people need to go on watch. We can't be having people getting exhausted just so the rest can sleep easy.
I'll look at the orc and say, I wouldn't want a fighter such as yourself to have to stay away from the group. We need all the fighters we can get. They're the most important strength we have.
He just snarls at you. I'll say that's one last persuasion check. It's at this point, both Topsy and Turvy have stopped. They seem willing to stay with the group, but Ront is still very much in a.
I will be walking over to wake Flint up. Like I've made it clear that while I'm not happy with this, that I expect people to actually take watches tonight to prevent this happening again.
In that case, Runt doesn't. The persuasion check is unnecessary. Runt does just stand there and wait for this to happen.
Last glory.
Yeah, I think.
You want me to make one last one?
No.
You don't need to. It's not.
It's fine. It's been sorted.
I'll go over and gently awaken Flint.
So Flint, you awaken. You are still tired. It is. I'll say you can make a Constitution save to avoid the exhaustion, but you haven't got a long rest from this, unfortunately.
Awesome. Not awesome. 9. What the?
Oh dear.
Wait, did you say Constitution? Did you say is it a Constitution check or Constitution save? Okay, 11.
11. That beats the 10. So you are not exhausted, but again, you don't get the long rest penalty bonuses here.
For what it's worth, would you not at the very least get the benefits of a short rest?
Yeah. So you can use it as a short rest.
For whatever
so you can use your hit die if you want to.
He's got.
Alrighty, let's
help. Because I don't know how much health you've got, so.
That's like 7 hit points. I'm back up to half health.
Are you actually looking quite wounded?
I was on 3 hit points.
Oh Jesus!
That is like 300% more than me.
Where is?
Well, you're on full now, Mike.
Yeah, I meant before. God.
I will.
More than what you were on before was still 0.
Yes. I was on
I'll just apologise to Flint and say, I'm sorry, but everyone else is anxious to go, and I couldn't persuade them to let you finish your rest.
It's fine. I knew the risks. When.
What? Sorry.
It's still probably a little bit of sleep.
If you feel like your wounds are affecting you at any point throughout the day, tell me and I will cure you. For the time being, I think it would be worth conserving my spells.
Agreed.
So what's your health at now, Matt?
10.
Exactly 50%. And Phil, your armor has gone up by 1 now, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm on 20.
18 and 20. Yep.
18. Well, it's basically 20 because I'm always going to have my shield out. Pretty much.
I know, but just to humour it, I'm always going to have you without shield on there as well, just in case.
Just in case, please no. That's my holy symbol.
Mm-hmm. So, with Flint now awake. Oh, sorry.
Woohoo!
I was going to say, would now actually be a good time to grab drinks and stuff as we're setting off.
Actually, yeah, it's already 10 past 8. Bloody hell, yeah. Yeah, we'll take a quick break here then for people to loo break and grab drinks.
Role playing in the roleplay.
Don't worry, things will be a bit more exciting for the second half, I swear.
I'm probably going to start a fight with an orc. It's going to be exciting.
And I'm gonna get stoned.
Oh dear.
Forget it.
We will be back momentarily, folks.
Can't tell me what to do.
You know.
I am.
And
wearing
we're
some
back.
Patrick t-shirt.
Hey!
Didn't even realize.
Right. So, with the eventful camping done and in the past,
We spent over an hour camping.
to be fair, you got a bit more information about the different NPCs you're with, and
Yeah.
Kamar also got another confrontation with Ron.
Fucking come on.
And Ron forgot how much he hates wolves.
I think he started it.
Of course you think that.
That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
As you journey, Ron again actually takes up the front position again, just assuming that that's still in effect. Shusha directing him, but Ron kind of taking up a front guard effectively.
Clearly a leadership role.
Obviously, he's in charge. He's at the front of the group. As you journey onwards, you start to move into more varying tunnels. One particular is a large cavern that you can't see the edges of. That just seems to be a continuous zigzagging ramp going down, down and down. You're not sure how far you descend this before eventually you cross maybe 100 feet into the darkness and then start going up in a very similar fashion.
Can I also just, if we get to like any junctions or forks, can I also spend a bit of time just covering our tracks there so it gets confused?
You can do this in general as you walk. As long as you're not moving at a fast pace, you have enough time to do this as you're walking.
Okay.
I'm assuming we're not walking at too fast a pace given the varying sizes.
We
You
picked
guys
medium
decide
speed
that
for
you're going at a
reference.
medium pace.
So
Yeah,
So-
I would probably be walking around stone form as well, just for the sake of in case we get ambushed.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You're at your ready basically. It's the same as having your weapon out for you, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it
pretty
makes
much.
sense. Could you roll me
I
a wisdom
am a
survival
weapon.
then? Phil?
That's a 5.
That is a total of, I believe, 7 survival, so 7.
You start doing this as you're journeying, but unlike last time, you're not doing this over the course of a 10-minute journey. You're doing this over the course of at least a couple of hours, and several times you actually find yourself kind of distracted, and you at least for a minute or so you've been journeying and you've not been covering the tracks and stuff. And each time you think you do a quick rush back, try and cover it up, make sure you got everything, but you're not 100% sure on how well you've done this time around. Like,
It's more just if it can confuse them a little, I consider it worthwhile.
that's fair.
Just turn
All
him
right.
and walk backwards. Okay. I am walking along with my shield and flail out.
Yeah.
My flail. Bring me my flail.
Oh boy!
Give me 1 second.
Wait just a hot second.
I would also assume he's up here.
Oh yeah, we're doing a marching order thing.
Feel free to change those marching orders. I was just
just
going by those
moved.
freestyle ones.
I just moved the Bobbyist.
I guess I'll be bringing up the rear with Cobalt. Aha, but
Cobalt and Stool.
yeah, bring up the
Right.
rear with Stool.
I feel well protected on the...
Ron's and Flint
large
are good pals now, apparently.
I wonder-
Yay!
Minions, surround me!
We've kind of
Protect your
bonded,
god.
bonded over hating each other. That's a thing, right?
Does happen.
All right.
Friendships forged in war, that sort of thing.
Are you
Like
trying
some
to tell
sort
me that our
of,
friendship was Warforged?
Warforged.
Careful saying the word forge, it arouses the dwarves.
Of course it does. They're all like that.
I mean, he is always rock hard around me.
Aren't
Literally
you
the
also
worst.
rock hard?
Every time he talks
Here,
about the forge,
we're both rock hard right now.
every time he talks about the forge, he's like, yeah, it's kind of hot.
That's actually kind of hot.
Get it?
I'd put my poker in the forge, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Of course you do. You're a dwarf. Why wouldn't you know that?
All right.
Ready,
As
meaning...
I'll put your sword in my scabbard.
As you journey out of the down and then up cavern, which in itself is about half an hour to 40 minutes just to traverse that single cavern, barely traveling maybe 200 feet lengthwise, but going God knows how deep into the cavern before then rising out at a different height. The tunnel start to get slightly livelier when it comes to the fungi. You start to notice the ground has a small stream basically running down the middle of it, maybe 2 feet wide, and all around that, the rock itself has started to grow softer, almost like a mulch layer on top of it, out of which mushrooms of various sizes have started to grow. To the point of, after another half hour's journey, you actually start to notice these mushrooms are starting to grow to the size of a man, if not larger, at certain points.
I am going to ask if this is cause for concern, or is this just how this is naturally? We've already come across mushrooms that knocked people out, so gigantic ones.
Fair.
I don't know.
Who are you asking? Like,
I'm going to ask this openly to people who are around me.
Is anyone to control nature in party, or?
I'll make a nature check. Though I'm specifically wondering if it's related to myconids.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that. Because of that, I'm gonna point at Stool and say,
6.
"You." I say, "You there? Is this anything to do with your kinds of people?"
Stool
people.
is actually hobbling next to you, I think, in front of. Actually, no. He'd have, if you step forward, he'd have stepped back, so he's next to Cobalt. So you kind of turn around and actually pointing at him from in front, and he just kind of stops.
You
just stands there stationary.
I'll just wait
Do it.
beside Stool.
You're gonna fart everywhere. It's gonna be gross.
He then just kind of starts looking around, like unsure of what's happening.
Like, wait, I was
Does no one else answer?
Just dealing with this bit first. Sorry. In dealing with myconids before, Matt and Cobalt and Flint, you know that they actually can't understand people. They can't.
Yeah,
they don't understand
I'll
language
say,
either. So
he can't understand you at the moment. I'm saying this to Kamar, obviously.
As they're saying that, Eldif next to you, Renlin, says, "This ain't too out of the ordinary. A lot of the caverns deep down here are covered with this fungus. A lot of mushroom-like stuff grows around here. It could be indicators that myconids live nearby, or it could be indicators that any civilized area is nearby, or it could just be remnants of spores passing through. Many different things it could be, unfortunately."
Is it worth... sorry, do I hear that?
Yeah.
I'll just say, is it worth having a quick look around to see if there are any myconids near here? They might be able to take Stool. And...
Side note, if I was to ever play Warhammer 40k and I played the Tyranids, I would call them myconids. Carry on.
Eldif says, if you just heard what I just said, looking around, if we looked every time we get to areas like this, would be wasting would be doubling our journey time. This is not an abnormal thing. This isn't any extra sign that there's myconids around, I'm afraid.
Very well.
I'm still waiting on the shroom talking to me. I'm just standing there pointing at him.
I did say to you, he can't understand you.
No, I'm still pointing though. How dare he not understand me?
At this point, as a few minutes have passed and Kamar still has his finger pointed out, it seems that Stool, instead of putting his spores out, just kind of backs up and kind of steps behind Cobalt, like a little brother behind his big brother kind of thing, like
my hand
his head
follows.
between your legs to see the front.
I'll just say, I think you're scaring him.
Oh. How embarrassing.
You're scaring the Stool.
It's shitting itself.
Scared it so much, the stool pooped.
At this point, there is a deep scream from the front of the group as one of the as a purplish mushroom, about
Oh.
5 feet tall, maybe 4.5, suddenly reaches out of a tendril and slaps at Shushar.
Man, I
See,
wonder
there's a
what
reason
that
I
could
asked
be.
if it's cause for concern.
Fortunately, Shushar steps back and the tentacle hits against the wall, and you actually see the greenish fungi on the wall actually blacken as
Ooh.
something within the tendril
Knowledge.
seeps the life out of it. Knowledge nature check here would work.
19.
19.
That's all right.
You recognize that this is a violet fungus. They are a type of. Sorry. They're a type of mushroom that basically feeds off the energy and resources of other living organisms. It's obviously set up. It's obviously set up here due to the large amount of fungi life around it, and you guys stumbling along, it's noticed a tasty meal, and as such reached out towards the Kyotoan lead of the party.
It's fighting time.
Initiatives.
Want to put something on the map, maybe?
Yep, I'll get something. I was just finishing my description rather than trying to multitask.
That's a nat 20.
Nice. Significantly less nice.
That is not a nat 20.
No, that's not nat 20.
At some point, I'll figure out how to do those fancy things. But right now, I don't care.
No, you won't.
Duh.
No,
Stop lying to the people.
I wanna make it look like I'm putting in an effort.
Well,
I'll
you
say
ruined it now.
that.
Damn.
Okay, that's the best roll I'm ever gonna do.
Oh man, 220s on initiative.
But mine's higher. Suck it, Phil.
No.
It is 'cause you've got more decks.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't mind. I'm not reliant on decks.
I'm gonna hit him with my face, and then maybe my actual weapons afterwards.
I don't think I believe
I
it.
Yeah, but
actually wait. No,
As an
I
aside,
did the wrong roll. I should have actually got 21. So, we'll have to roll off.
Mike, I don't think we can actually see him.
Well, that's
I
gonna
think
be
he is
unfortunate when I
literally
charge into the
just
darkness.
outside of the
You-
Oh, I
line.
was looking at the
You
wrong
two
one.
can just hear the sounds from the front of the group with the light source as it is, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I
'cause
thought you
it's
said
40
violent
from-
fungus, but okay.
Violet.
It looks like it.
Save us, Bob the Orc.
So, what do you guys get? Renlin.
13.
Cobalt.
21. Not 20
Come on.
makes a difference.
21, nat 20.
So you both have a +1 bonus.
Yep.
In that case, just do a quick roll off for me. And Flint.
4.
Who is actually going to be involved in this?
I
The NPCs.
Mike goes first.
Not by much, but yeah.
You sounded disappointed there, like, oh, I go first.
It's not a good idea. That like it isn't.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I say, you can't see it anyway, so
Exactly. That's why it's a bad idea. Hang on, I didn't prepare spells this morning. I should probably do that.
I'm just sorting out the NPCs initiatives.
I was
Not
going to say,
bothering
that
for
this
all
is
of
the
them.
thing about
I'm
having
going
such
with
a
I've
large
probably got the
party,
same
is all the
spells.
NPCs need to have roles.
It's basically picking and choosing which ones are going to be a decent participant in the fight and not just a awkward bystander, because I'm not going to bother rolling for all of them if I can justify it. I think is the best way to do it. All right. The first to react to the to Shushar's scream is Kamar. You cannot
Okay.
see what caused this scream.
Nope.
It is only darkness. Although the entirety of your group seems to be now facing frontwards
to be
towards
fair,
it.
he'll basically be able to see up to and including Bob.
Mhm.
Bob?
Rant. The
Oh,
orc.
Ron. Yeah.
It says
Uh,
Bobby
and
just
he's
on
Bob.
here.
He's Bob if you hover over.
No, actually, it's 20
Bob.
feet, isn't it? So one,
It's
two, three.
it's 40 feet. It's 20 feet bright light, 20 feet dim light.
Oh god, we got Bob the Orc,
Yeah, so actually,
also Bob,
you can actually-
and the Bobbyist.
You can
The
see
Bobby.
up to about Rendon and Eldith clearly. After that, there is just dark, shadowy forms, but you can see that you can see Shushar and Ront's forms seemingly reacting to something directly in front of them. Looks like somebody has just attacked them.
Okay, so I I scream, "What's wrong?" and then charge.
You're on the wrong
forwards.
one there, Mike.
Am I? Wait, where
We're
are
on
we?
the 10-foot wide one.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't actually specify this. You're on this one.
Okay, that's fine. In that case, I shout, "What's wrong?" and then before I get an answer, charge forwards. That's 10, 20, 15, 20, 25.
Due to the squish conditions of the corridor and the little stream in the middle, you are actually at difficult terrain here, so you're at half
What?
movement for each of these
So I
squares.
can't actually get anywhere from this then.
You'd have
you
to
can get-
dash.
Even with a dash, you can't get quite. You'd be in
No, I
shoe jaw
can't.
one square, I think.
I would be either
You could
here
get to
or
there,
nowhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you
I
can
can
dash
do
up
that.
next to Flint if you wanted to. If you wanted to get closer,
Guess I'll dash there.
you're basically dashing into the darkness here as well. So
Yep.
you can see a bit
So
more of what's
I-
happening here. It looks. You don't reckon it looks humanoid, although it does seem to have an arm that it's just attacked Shusha with.
And then I shout, "Where is it? What is it? Information!"
Cobalt.
That's the end of my turn.
I'm going to be keeping an eye on the rear, and
I say.
I shall take the dodge action.
It's funny because Stool is at the rear. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, I'm just going to dodge. I'll just react to anything that comes this way.
Okay. Ront.
Sorry, I will actually put myself in front of Stool, so the light shifts 5 feet away from the front.
So suddenly
Oh,
that
dull.
font you were just about making out, Mike, suddenly is even harder to see.
I am blind!
Ron takes out his great axe and sweeps it down, taking a very lumberjack approach at the shrub-like mushroom.
Oh, me, a lumberjack and me.
And he
will stay.
hits.
And it's dead.
Combat over. GG.
Oh, that was fun.
Then
What's that?
10 more
This week?
attack. That'd be fun, actually. I'd be okay with that.
What would be?
Yeah.
Sorry.
A lot of XP
Don't worry,
right there.
you'll get plenty of fighting down here. Trust me.
Oh, I hope so.
The axe digs in, and the air around it fills with spores and other basically a cloud of green spores arising out of it instead of in place of a splash of blood.
Okay.
It is
Why
now.
does everything fart down here?
Hey, that's just
Like,
how
at
it
a
is.
certain-
I mean, we are
At a
down
certain
low.
point, the caves would just be filled with farts.
It is now Renlin. You can see what's happening about 20 feet in front of you.
How difficult is it for me to actually attack it with a spell from here?
If it's a ranged attack, a ranged spell with an attack roll, then it'd be at half cover. You've got 3 people between you and it.
Well, considering it's either me standing there going, I'm going to try and attack it with Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
15?
Roll your attack roll. That is a hit, I believe. Yeah, that's definitely a hit.
Alright then.
Roll your damage.
4 force damage. Oh my god, that's awful.
So, does your Eldritch Blast have any unique graphics, so to speak? Like, is it because typically these ones are actually tailored towards your personality, where your strength comes from? Is this one? Does it look like anything particular, or?
That is a good point actually. It will do. Because if you've read my backstory, you'll know.
Yep. Well,
It looks
it could
reddish.
It could be a personality.
Kind
So
of
it's like
fiery, but not exactly. It's reddish.
Okay, so almost like a red bolt of energy that
Like a red lightsaber kind of colour.
it fires out of your hand and slams into the creature, illuminating it momentarily before the light then fades. The creature's still wobbling. None of you are really close enough or have good enough sight to be able to see how it's really doing right now. Shushar is backs away. He's going to use his withdrawals.
How's he managing that?
He's actually, yeah. Even with he actively can't, can he? He'll step forwards to let Kamar actually get within reach of it.
Yeah.
Although he takes the dodge action, trying to keep away from it, as it then reaches out and it's going to attack Ron. Actually, Ron just dealt a nasty blow to it, so it swings out with its tentacle 4 times.
I say.
Yes. That is
I do declare.
that's
4
2
times.
hits and 1 hit. Although the
Damn.
last attack goes completely wild, the first 3 all hit. And you can all watch as Ront's green skin goes visibly grey, and the veins beneath them start blackening and becoming much more visible.
Hey, Mike, he's stealing your kill.
You can very much tell that Ront is on his last legs.
Oh.
Well, not his last legs, he is very injured. Let's upgrade these healths after a long rest.
That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Stop the party members getting distracted.
He growls at Impen and says, "Kill the bloody thing!"
What's the matter, Orc?
Flynn,
Can't
your
win
turn.
your own battles?
Well, as
Neither can you, Mike.
If he insists, I'm going to
I mean,
cast.
That just makes me an expert
booming.
in the situation.
For what it's worth, I'm going to cast Booming Blade. Probably not going to actually do.
Might as
That's
well, I
difficult,
guess.
isn't it?
Oh, 1 second. Should you quickly? Just realised the stats on this thing haven't been set up on this particular version of the token.
You just roll a d20 and add it manually then.
Yeah, sure. I think. Okay, that's 9. So that's 14.
That is a hit.
Cool.
This
in that
thing
case-
seems incredibly easy to hit. It's
that's 8
squishy
damage.
and it is not really dodging. How much? 5?
8 damage.
8, sorry. You bring your... What is it you're using?
War pick.
You bring your war pick down, like, straight from the top, and it almost implodes around your... or explodes around where your pick hits.
One hand.
Spores and gas being leaked into a cloud all around you as this happens. It is very much dead at that.
Can you, Phil?
Okay,
Sorry, can you link your?
I'll give it a
sheet?
smug look over to Ron. Not
Link
kind
my
of
what, sorry.
Your
not kind
character
of
sheet, sorry.
aggressive look, but kind of a smug, kind of like.
He is too busy right now focusing on his breathing. You can very much hear him wheezing at the moment, like he is struggling to catch his breaths.
You okay there, pal?
He just growls. Just fuck off.
I say careful,
that.
there might
Is
be
that
more
what
of them
actually
around
links?
here.
Damn it.
Thanks. Apparently, I had my link wrong on my Twitch command. Sorry, carry on.
What'd you say? There might be more of them, Laurie.
Say careful, there might be more of them out there.
Eldif nods and says, we'd best be careful as we carry on forward. Are you just taking up your positions again and just carrying on then at a more careful pace, or?
Yeah, I'm wondering if it might be a good idea for Ron to stay back for the time being, considering he's not looking too good.
Why is he called Bob
Keep telling
Rock?
I will actually just... Is anyone actually mentioned anything about Rontor?
Probably me suggesting that he stay behind just because stay behind me at least just because he's not looking too good at the moment.
As you say that, he just says, "You stay behind. I'm fine."
I say, do you want to come over here and I can at least check to make sure you're not going to be falling over?
Roll a persuasion check.
I say, what's the matter, Orc? Can't even stand.
No!
Jesus fuck.
It will motivate him to stand up.
17.
He stops and says, "No clue what I breathed in there with that bloody mushroom stuff in the air." And he does step backwards and actually allow Cobalt to have a look at him.
The
Oh,
fumes, man. The
Nice.
fumes.
Bill, you've gone quiet.
I don't think it's anything to do with what you inhaled.
Yeah, we can't actually hear you right now, Phil.
It's better this way.
Say something.
Hello?
Yeah,
That's
there we
better.
Okay.
Nope,
I
there we go.
don't know. I think you might have just leant away from your microphone, just you leaning forwards there.
Can't. It's on my headset. I can't.
You can still move your head.
I don't.
Just, I don't know. Either way, you were quieter.
Who knows?
Yeah, I'll
as
just
you-
do a medicine check on him if I can.
Yep, you can. If you want to roll that.
Oh dear.
Oh, dear.
What's your bonus?
It's
DC here is 5.
It's 4, so 6 total.
You look at him and you can very much tell that this is just the effects of necrotic damage. This is whatever it was leeching his life, his very
not
life
be,
being.
He's not poisoned. He's not diseased. He's not going to be taking more damage. It's just
What are you trying to
He's
eat?
hurt.
Orc?
You don't think he's poisoned?
That's
don't
just
like
being
that.
Probably
arrogant.
fine.
I mean,
I'm just-
everybody else at the
fine.
front breathed in this, right? So if they're not poisoned, then he can't be poisoned. That's fine. He's fine.
I'll just say, just appears to be necrotic damage. You should be all right.
Honestly,
that he just kind
if
of,
someone said that
growls
to me, I'd be bricking it. It's only necrotic damage. It's what?
Sneak.
To be fair, I assume
You're
this
only
is a fairly
rotting off.
common-ish type of thing. Like, not
I
Not
don't
But
think it's
really.
common.
You're only,
Like-
your flesh is only
It's so
necrotizing.
much-
It's fine.
don't
If
think
it
it's
starts to fall off, don't worry
literally
about it.
I don't mean it's literally common. I mean it's something people are aware of. It's not like, oh my god, what the fuck is necrotic
Mm.
damage? It's
No,
like,
even then,
oh,
like
right.
it is,
It's-
like somebody of arcane knowledge would know about it, and certain magical creatures have it naturally. But it's not like you'd be like hunters in a village would ever have to even think about necrotic damage, even though they're out in the wilderness and stuff doing stuff. It's not that general knowledge, unfortunately. It's not like the
I
elements.
managed to sneak to the front while he was distracted.
He
fine,
does.
He wants to bring up your rear.
He does move backwards. I will say, Matt, if you want to make a persuasion check.
I can do that. I hope this is going to fuck up so badly. Oh, that's not too bad. Persuasion check. That is 19.
You take up a position near Shushar, and you don't. When Rob returns, you don't. It's not that you actively kind of force yourself in front of him. You just kind of like keep moving next to him, as if like, and as Rob approaches, you just kind of keep pace, not in a insulting manner, and it seems to work as he basically takes up the second row behind you without seemingly being insulted by it.
Yes.
So, are you taking up the second row as well, Mike?
He wants to be there when he goes down.
No, please don't do this to us.
I mean, I'm not making a point of. Yeah,
I
I'm
will
not making a point of being
firmly
there.
blade your ass.
It's just that clearly I'm more required at the front because that's where all of the fighting is going to happen. So
Bear in mind, you're relying on Phil's light here.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind
you
of
can't see
annoying.
anything at the front.
Yeah, but that's
like-
where the fighting's going to be though.
It's actively hard to walk. Like you're
Yeah.
constantly tripping here.
I fail to see what's
You
wrong
do
here.
fail.
I fail
Um,
often, yes.
Yeah,
With
you fail
with
with your
that,
flail.
Eldef actually calls back and says, back at Cobalt and says, perhaps you'd be best off in the center of the group. That way we can provide our friend there with a little bit of light. He seems to be struggling. And
I
there's a
say
smirk
that's
from
fine
Marcus
with
says
me,
that.
but
Not me.
Stull will also be coming along. Bear in mind.
It's probably
I'll ta-
better that you be in the middle anyway.
I'll
Well,
take your
yeah.
place. I'll take your place, and Jim Jar will join me. So And-
Sorry, as an aside, I have said before, I'm going to make sure
Yeah.
there's always a space between
Oh my god, why is...
Seraph and Stull.
it's as you do that, I was about to say that the drow does seem to take notice and it takes very minuscule actions to alter his pace to look like he's going to follow Stull, and then seeing you kind of go between them stops. This does have the effect of providing Kamal a bit more light, so it is now a lot easier for you to move.
I am no
orc-
longer blind.
The orc next to you just seems to grumble and curse at you every so often.
Do we need to sort out the other?
I would bother with
Marching
that if
orders.
we actually
We'll
need
sort
to.
that if we get to
Okay.
it. You then carry on your journey at a bit of a slower pace just to make sure you don't come across any more of those violet fungi. However, it does seem that
I was just going to say, I'll shout back to Eldith and just say, make sure if we get to any junctions to just cover our tracks for a little bit. At least throw off any pursuers.
she nods and says, I'll give him best.
She can't do any worse than I did, really.
She could.
She could, but it'd be hard. Is all I'm saying.
Getting that one.
What is that bonus?
Ability checks don't crit fail.
Oh.
It's just
Still
you
getting that
roll
one
really
though,
low.
lower. That one would be lower regardless. Well, maybe actually, maybe not.
I'm assuming she actually has some sort of survival check compared to my just +2 from wisdom.
She does actually seem to be somewhat capable when it comes to those sort of skills.
How convenient.
As you journey onwards, you carry on through various caverns. Very quickly, within the next half hour, all the fungus and such that was around starts to fade again, shrink back down to what you would normally consider normal-sized fungus. Although, for the rest of the day, this is somewhat alternating, going from small patches to absolutely nothing in the caverns to suddenly tree-like size. And after your after your encounter of the day, you are somewhat halted, or at least slowed by the images that pass through your minds of these tree-like mushrooms suddenly coming to life and attacking like the virus fungi do. But beyond slowing your pace a little in that regard, it doesn't actually have any other material effect as the journey carries on, and eventually it gets to a point where you start to think about possibly foraging as you're traveling and then setting up a camp.
Is it getting
This
late in
bit
the day?
as well.
I will volunteer to help search for food while we go.
Okay. You are able to find enough for 5 people, is it?
I'm not sure. I don't have the thing right in front of me. I know I was able to find it for so many people, but
It was
I don't have the
something
book.
like 5.
Yeah, something
Elder
like 5.
will also forage as she moves. Actually, no, she's covering your tracks, so she can't do right now. She's busy
I have
foraging.
been told what sort of things to look for, so I will attempt to find something.
Yep, you can roll a survival check.
I will assist Red
Can I?
because I'm within 5 feet of him.
So you
Can I
actually find
also?
stuff, Matt.
Can I
8.
also look
Wow.
for stuff
Yeah.
based on the knowledge that I know what I got last time was probably not correct?
My survival skill is not very
You
good.
can roll a survival check.
Let's do that.
So you got 8, Laurie. Who else was doing
Yeah.
stuff?
I
Matt,
was assisting Renlin, so I gave him advantage.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
I don't have survival.
It's just a wisdom check then.
Yeah. That's not it.
It's a survival check, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't have survival.
Oh, well.
Blah, blah. 17.
Oh.
I'm the best
Actually-
survivalist.
Actually, judging it by what you ate yesterday and assuming that's bad and other stuff are good, Kamal actually finds a decent amount of mushrooms.
Well, I know I don't want that. Everything else is fine, obviously.
Process of elimination.
Between him, Jim Jar, and Flint, you're actually able to find enough mushrooms to feed you all for the day, it would seem. And eventually you do set up for the night. And we're not going to go through setting up watches again every night just because
God damn it, that's not
Just
over an
bear
hour.
in mind,
it's going
I
to just
did.
delay the game.
For what it's worth, I will be making sure there isn't enough watches this time that everyone can
Yeah.
get a full rest.
I would volunteer for a watch this time. We're going to do that
Yep.
again.
That's fine then. I think that pretty
Yay!
much covers it.
Mm-hmm.
The deuce.
The only reason I did last
So,
time
As,
because I was
as
basically
actually, as
dead.
we get to where we're resting for that night, I'll just turn to Jim Jar and say, "It looks like you owe me 15 gold."
He looks and goes, looks like I do. Double or nothing on tonight's watch.
I just grin and agree.
Sounds good.
Oh
And,
dear.
At this time,
I'll shake his hand again.
You're encouraging this man's problem.
this time it's
What's wrong
actually
with
a
you?
less
Enabler.
defensible position. Unfortunately, it's you don't find a cavern as nice as the one you found the previous night.
I'll
But
take my chances.
you do set up
You
camp.
don't lose anything
And
at this point.
You do all find yourselves getting a decent amount of rest with no interruption for the evening.
Nice.
The following morning comes and you carry on your journeys.
What are you doing XP at the end of the session?
Yeah, it's easier to do it then rather than we're already delayed enough by random things, I'm afraid. As you are journeying, the corridor itself starts to widen. After about maybe 3 hours into the day, the corridor starts to widen until eventually the walls either side of you disappear into the darkness, even for those of you with dark vision.
On the big one now.
As you carry on into the cabin unless somebody stops him. Shushar seems to be quite intent on just carrying on forwards, going straight direct through the cabin rather than following either of the walls.
Yeah, that's fine with me. This guy knows where he's going. I hope.
He eventually, after about 10 minutes, as you've been journeying into this cabin, the ground itself now completely rocky. Absolutely no moss or fungus on it at all. No sound, no sight of water. Although you can all now still hear the drip, drip, drip coming from the distance, echoing along from the cabins. You notice what at first just seems to be a large stalagmite. It doesn't really distinguish itself from the other stalagmites. However, you then, those of you towards the front of the group, that'd be actually Flint is the first to notice. Assuming you actually have a decent perception, I should probably look at that. Yeah, even though I've got a minus, you see it. You can actually see there seems to be a stone door into this stalagmite, and it is currently a good foot or two open.
Ooh.
A stone door into the stalagmite.
Yeah. Like the bottom of the stalagmite itself has a thin stone door that is about maybe 7 feet tall, 3.5 feet, 4 feet wide, and seems to lead into the stalagmite itself. If it wasn't for the fact that it is currently open, you probably would have just wandered past this and never even noticed it.
Stalagmite's the floor one, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Mike's is M for moles. And it kind of fills you with chills considering how many stalagmites you've passed so far in your journeys through the Underdark.
How many of them has secret doors? Yeah, stone cutting.
Well, this is the first stalagmite with a door that you've seen. The stalactites back in Velkenvelve definitely had doors. In fact, this looks very reminiscent of the outpost that the drow kept you in.
I'm gonna sort of pat Shushar the shoulder and sort of point at the door.
He stops and says, "Yes. Oh, what is that?"
It looks like a door.
Diddly-lily-lily.
As you're saying that, Ron just behind you says, "Aye, and so fucking what? It ain't the way we're going. So what bother would we have to it?" And as soon as he says that, the drow at the back actually says, "If it looks like a ruined outpost from my own kin. Perhaps we might be able to find supplies with him."
That's the first useful thing he said the entire campaign.
That is yes.
In fact,
I openly agree.
It seems very out of character for him. A lot of you notice.
Oh, can I
actually
inside that then?
Go for it.
I'm going to say right now, I probably wouldn't notice. I'm not particularly good at reading people.
It's basically anybody with a +1 wisdom bonus notices this.
No.
I got 11.
Neither of you two can really judge this, but yeah, so far he seems to be going through different stages of mentality, and this is another one of them. Like, this doesn't kind of link up to any of the other things he's kind of said in your journeys. So just burn that.
I'll just say it could also be an ambush.
Well, there's quite a few of us, and we're ready for combat, so I say we check it out and see what we can loot from it.
I'm still reeling from the fact that I didn't kill everyone with my mushroom finds.
As soon as Renlund says the word loot, Ront grins and says, "Loot, I can get behind that," and immediately makes towards the door.
Where is the door? I'm guessing we're just going to use this.
Well, I guess I'm going to follow behind him just for the sake of.
Again, I'm not really going for a map here. Just describe what you're doing.
I'd rather, if there is anything there, he not just die from his own stupidity. So I'm going to follow as closely behind as I can, considering my speed.
I'm going to follow about 10 feet behind Flint. The distance with the sisters ready to go.
It seems that the majority of the NPCs aren't going to go with you. Sarith the Drow, Jimjar, and Prince Darendil all move to accompany you. And Cobalt, are you moving with them?
I'll stick outside the door, but I'll move up.
As you move up, obviously Stool moves along with you.
Yeah.
And in fact, as you kind of stop there, you notice Seraph kind of goes to move towards Stalagmite and then just stops about 5 feet away from Stool, kind of looking at him at the corner of his eyes. And
Again, I'm going to very much be making sure I'm between the two.
You step,
I am
you step
not
between them
being
again.
subtle about this at all.
You
Every
step
time
between
I
them.
give him a very pointed look.
You step between him, give him a hard stare, and he immediately then kind of carries on and moves towards the Stalagmite instead. Those of you actually entering the Stalagmite, this is at one time this might have been a very defensible and possibly even a cozy position. You can just stepping inside, you suddenly notice slim windows, both vertical and horizontal, that you couldn't see from the outside, basically lining the sides all the way around. In the center, there's a spiral staircase that leads up to a floor above. There is what looks to be furniture made from the same fungus material as back in Velkenvelv. However, it is all ruined and shattered around the place. As far as you can tell, it is at one point there were tables, chairs, maybe a chest.
Could we see how high the stalagmite was from the outside?
From outside, yeah, it was about. Yeah, it disappeared beyond people's dark vision.
So we don't know how many floors it might be.
No. Although, actually, some of the Jimdra actually, seeing you kind of look at this, would have said about 80 feet, about 80 feet tall, give or take.
That's pretty tall.
Yeah.
We try to judge if it was like a bigger on the inside kind of deal.
Well, no, because like, oh, there's stairs up. Well, if this is like a massive, I don't know, skyscraper, I don't want to check the whole thing. But the fact that this is open, I'm going to look at the floor and see, because this is all old and ruined, but I'm going to look at the floor and see if I can figure out if this was opened recently or if it's just been in that open position for a very long time.
Roll a investigation check.
Yeah.
You have no clue. In fact, as you're investigating this, like as you was disappearing inside and you're investigating this, you kind of just subconsciously shut it, and then suddenly, where'd it go? You've lost the door.
Wait, what? Why would I shut it?
You rolled a 4 on your investigation check. As you were looking over it, basically you had your hands on it, you were pushing it aside to get a better angle at something, and it shut as you were doing that. It was such a smooth movement that you didn't even realise you were doing it.
In that case, I back away and go, whoa, the door just shut itself. Back away, guys.
Good job.
Oh, I didn't intend to shut it, so...
You're already inside. Like, those that went inside have already gone inside.
Do I actually hear that?
Do we hear that?
I say it loud enough.
Yeah. The main group is maybe 20 feet from the Stalagmite, and you're about 10 feet. Roll an investigation check to find it. You can have advantage because you know that there's one there, but it's that well hidden.
Is that even from inside?
From inside, you hear a thump as it shuts, but you don't hear. Actually, no, there's windows. Yeah, you do hear Renan say that.
Okay, I open the door again. Like, the hell are you talking about?
From inside, you can very much see a clear outline. Like, it's quite easy to push open. From
inside, I just like open the door. Like, what?
And it does opens completely smoothly. Like, for saying it fits the cracks so brilliantly, it takes almost no effort to open and close it.
That deserve a hot joke. Yeah, hot.
I just back away and go, I'm not going in there. That seems dangerous.
You're lost, and shut the door again.
Fair enough.
So
there is a handle on the inside that actually allows you to pull it shut.
Oh, okay. I assumed there was, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to back away and go back with the rest of the party.
Yeah, I've walked inside.
How are you seeing?
It's a good joke.
Suddenly everything's very dark.
I am blind!
Yeah, Mike is unable to open the door.
I very specifically said I'm staying outside.
Yeah, Mike can't open the door again. He doesn't know where the handle is.
That's actually, that's a very good point, yeah. So, backtracking a bit. Flint, you said you were going in there, didn't you?
I did, yes.
So, you hear that, and you can actually see around the room. Kamar, you are blind.
I am blind!
Goddamn humans.
What are you guys doing?
I'll just kind of...
I'll open the door on account of we've kind of gone. The human can't see because for some reason human eyes are just. I don't know what they need more carrots or something. You need to eat more gold.
Because dwarves consist of a diet only of carrots.
Guys, the human can't see again.
You're
The door
such a
opens,
letdown.
and although the door's open, there's a little light let in from Cabalt's position, but it's still, you're not going to be able to do any exploring in here.
But at the very
Unless
least,
Cabal
doors
comes
open. Doors open. I'm going to join Ront in his ransacking.
Yeah, Ron's already disappeared upstairs while this is happening.
I will go upstairs.
Okay.
Goddamn roleplay. I want the
You
loot
can
in
hear
there.
the stomping, like stomp, 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 stomp,
I'm
stomp, stomp,
keeping a look
like
around.
disappearing
Oh.
above you.
I will join him in his stomping.
I am looking and probably more likely listening to what's going on in this cavern in general.
As far as you can tell, you can't hear anything. You can't see anything new. Like all the NPCs are going like bunched up now, about 20 feet away from the stand. Like the ones that stayed outside are at least.
I'm
Like looking around as well.
basically just keeping watch, keeping lookout.
Eldif, sorry, who was it? It was Jim Jar, Darendil, and Sareth went inside, wasn't it? So
I'm also inside. It's just really dark.
Darendil is inside, kind of looking around. He's currently looking at Kamar in his fussing.
Stumbling around, arms extended out as far as I can, just trying to feel around for stuff, bumping into everything.
As the door opens a
Staring
second
online.
time, Sareth moves in, has a quick look around, then makes a beeline for the stairs up as well. And Jim Jar just kind of steps in and starts actually going through all the shattered furniture, thinking he probably has a better chance of finding stuff there rather than in the stuff that people are going to be getting to before him. Flynn, you follow You follow Ron upwards. Each floor is as decimated as the one at the bottom. But as you get higher and higher, the air is starting to fill with a rank smell until you start to realise that something other than drow has likely lived in this more recently.
Dear combat.
There is muck and filth that covers the top two floors. They seem to be the basics of a bedroom, maybe, like with almost completely... I forget what the word is. Almost completely frayed away cloth sheets and such set up as basic beds. Like, by this point, they're so old and worn out that they wouldn't be of any use to you guys.
So it's orcs then, as opposed to drow.
They don't look large enough for orcs. You see Ron basically digging away at things, throwing stuff aside, and just looking for anything that might be of use. And he gets another fucking nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
This orc is nat 20s, I swear.
Beanie's got loaded dice.
Yeah, I'd be finding, like, just having a look to see if there's anything that could be remotely useful, basically.
Roll investigation check then.
Can I do that at disadvantage?
No,
investigation.
You can't see, like, even if you were moving around with your hands, you could pick something up, you'd have no clue what it was.
Also, I imagine you're on the ground floor, because where are the stairs?
I continue to walk into things.
As
find everything.
As Flint is looking around, you find absolutely nothing, and then you feel a sharp, like stars pass your head as something clocks you on the back of the head, and you realise that Ron he's literally doing that cartoon thing of grabbing something, looking under it, throwing it aside, literally behind him, not caring who's there, and it seems that you've just got in the way basically, and something clocked you on the back of the head as he threw it away. As it lands on the floor, it looks to be a little Zerkwood box, the fungus wood type stuff, and as it lands on the floor, the lid cracks and it spills out about 24 buttons of various shapes and sizes.
Just buttons.
Just buttons.
Are any of them made of any sort of precious material, or it just looks like just cheap?
Looks like you could literally just go along looting corpses solely for buttons, and you'd end up with this.
Okay.
Maybe that's the currency in the place we're going to. We don't know that.
Maybe. Probably not, but maybe.
Where's my bottle caps?
They could be magical buttons. I don't know.
You then kind of turn around after that, and you can see that Ron is now holding two things. One is a piece of parchment, which he immediately just crumples up and throws aside.
It's a spell
and the
scroll.
second one is a metal chain, very rusted metal chain, with what looks to be a stone carving on the bottom.
Wait, rusted
They
metal
seem to be
chain with
looking
a
at.
stone carving? As in, like, a lump of stone just attached to it?
Yeah, although the lump of stone has been carved into the shape of something.
Right,
It's
okay.
hard to see from Flint's
So
position
lump
right
of
now.
stone.
So we are
I'm gonna
actually
take-
talking soap on a rope here, essentially that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out
Right.
of interest, the parchment through, considering that this is like, can I take a look at it? Because it might have some writing on it. Might have any sort of useful information on it. Considering this was an outpost.
You pick it up, unravel it. It is a picture of a goblin. A very
Picture?
poorly drawn picture of a goblin.
Very
Oh,
poorly drawn picture of a goblin.
Yeah, and picking it up, you're not sure what it was drawn with. In fact, smelling it, you're not sure you like thinking about what it was drawn with.
Oh,
Okay, now we know.
I'm gonna paint with my finger.
Now we know what's
Dum.
there.
There's plenty of mess around here. So
Okay.
Just
Drop
gonna
it
dip
back
it
to
in
the
the
floor.
ink pot, and there we go.
So
Woo!
he's
Oi.
so,
I enjoy this
Goddamn
ink pot.
goblins!
so he
Not
has
in
a
public.
stone. He has a stone something on a chain.
Getting a bit closer, you can basically tell that it seems to be a
Plug
and
for his
he's kind of
butt.
he's looked at it and he's kind of held it aside and kind of hooked it or pocketed it at this point. But as he does so, you do get a quick sight of it. It looks to it basically to be a little figurine, maybe. Like you're not sure what of, but
Super Goblin action figure.
Everybody
it's
a
only
butt
about
plug.
maybe an
I'm
inch
calling it.
tall, like the
Everybody-
actual stone.
Everybody upstairs hears another thud, followed by the muffled "I am blind" once again from downstairs. Carry on.
Oh my eyes. Are we on
can
top
I
floor?
just find a rock out here somewhere?
Yeah,
Aren't
plenty
you
of-
made of?
Can you?
I just pick up a rock, walk the 5 feet to the door, just go here, catch, cast light on it, and throw it at Kamar.
As you do that, the light on you goes out.
I know.
However,
I'll say to one of the people stood nearby, you'll have to keep a lookout. I can only listen for now.
Am I on the top floor?
I have no longer
yeah, you are.
blind.
and Kamar, you basically you see this light come to the doorway, and then suddenly the big light turns into a small light, still giving out the same amount of light, but just a different size source. Effectively, it's tossed towards you. This is random magic. Are you gonna grab it?
Yeah, sure. Like, oh, thank you.
You
I
have
then
your
go
light.
upstairs.
Okay.
You
you
also
see
hear
what I
me
described
say,
before.
not very quiet. Goddamn moron.
As you go
My
upstairs,
mother called me that.
you actually, as you go towards the stairs, you get to the bottom of them as Sareth is about a third of the way down them, meaning to go past you, it would seem.
Wait, which one's Sarah? Sorry.
He's the drow.
The drow. Okay. I say, what's up? What's up there then?
He says, he just mutters. You can barely make out what he says. In fact, he mutters so quietly, but you
What
can
language
hear
does he say it in?
broken debris. And he is speaking in Undercommon, which
I know
Kamar
that.
can speak.
He is.
Uh,
It's a good thing I did take Undercom, otherwise I actually wouldn't be able to communicate with anything down here.
Yep.
You'd be like the third
Unless,
wheel
you
of
know,
the
you
party,
stick
wouldn't
their
you?
stall.
for the most part, when you're actually in a group, I'm assuming that basically there's no deadline basically except for stool, bless them. So basically somebody is always translating for other people, and I'm just kind of cutting out the middleman to save time there. But yeah, in this
Yeah.
situation, he is speaking Undercommon.
I guess you could say his understanding of languages is kind of shit.
I mean, is there anyone that doesn't speak Undercommon besides Stool?
Yes, there are. There's actually
right.
a fair few of them.
Okay,
Oh,
so
I thought most of them spoke Undercommon. Or Common.
Surprisingly.
do I get any inflection from
Well-
his voice that he's just trying to shrug me off, or
It seems more like he's got another task in mind.
so he is just trying to shrug
Actually,
me
no.
off then?
Sorry, this is you we're talking about. You, do you want to roll an insight on him?
Sure.
This is you.
Like,
You're too
you're-
much of an idiot. Roll for it.
I mean, no,
Your-
it's
I've just realised your passive insight isn't actually that great. So
It's not.
it's like 10, I think.
Yeah, it's actually passive perception is 10. Yes.
So
However,
it would
I-
make sense to you to actually roll this.
I am proficient in insight, so
And yeah, that's I'm bearing that in mind, Laurie, don't worry. There's pretty much nothing happening in the cave as a whole. It's very quiet, surprisingly.
In fact, the cave is a hole, technically.
Cave as a whole with Stool in it.
19.
Cave's a
Uh,
mimic. 19? Yeah, you very much get the idea that he's got something else in
Cave.
mind right now. His eyes are on the doorway.
In that case, I grab him and I force him into the wall. I was like, "What did you find up there, drow?"
Roll an athletics check.
Fight,
That's
fight,
nice,
fight,
dude.
fight, fight! Mike is making enemies day by day.
Yeah, it really
Everyone,
is.
everyone.
Actually, at this
Everyone's
point,
just
he's
waiting for
probably
their chance to cross
going
me.
up in my eyes.
I've
I
never
am not
liked
a
this
fan
guy.
of the drow.
23.
Woo.
Okay.
So as he kind of passes you on the stairs, you actually grab him, force him off the stairs and into the nearest wall, which is actually
Okay,
kind of spinning him.
for the
into
record, I'm
stairs
not
itself.
like pushing him down the stairs.
Oh yeah, no. This is like at the bottom
Okay.
foot of the stairs. Like.
Okay, right, fine. Like
You grab
pinning
him, push him
against
into the wall, and he suddenly, what are you doing? Why are you attacking me? Help! And everybody else can now hear the drow screaming.
I run to the door and attempt to find a way to
Yeah.
open it because it's closed.
It's open. No,
Oh, it's
I was
open.
just going to say it's open.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
I run in and go, what the hell's going on in here?
I'm gonna go downstairs.
I'm actually
as you move
suspecting that it's probably the drow starting some shit, because I've had my suspicions on him for a long time.
I would be suspicious the other way around, considering that so far Kamar has started combat on no less than about 5 occasions.
Yeah.
A,
Um,
4, B, B.
that took a-
Yeah, I would argue I didn't start any of those, but
You
then
started
again, I would
all of them.
argue that.
I would argue Kamar probably started it, but the drow probably had it coming in this particular instance.
We don't know what's going
So
on
yeah,
yet.
I run to the
no,
door.
well,
What do I
this is just
see?
generally what
I
What's
love
going on
how,
in here?
In spite of the fact that, as correctly pointed out, I have been instigating the majority of these fights, and yet everyone
Yes.
trusts me blindly in this
I don't trust.
situation.
I don't trust you at
remotely.
all.
I don't trust
They're
you
like-
remotely.
It was
I
just
trust-
because everyone's like, "Oh, the drow's probably starting shit."
Oh yeah, I don't. I
This is
straight
the
up
thing.
do
I have
not
my
trust
suspicions of the
lots
drow,
more than you.
but I know you're an
Lots more
asshole.
than
I
you.
don't know if
Tell
the
you what.
asshole's a drow.
Tell you what, these are all your own inner character thoughts. So, Brennan, you get to the door. You see Kamar standing there, his arm on the drow Cyrus' throat, basically holding him in position against the stairway, seemingly screaming at him as the drow is screaming in fear.
Where is he? Where's Scarecrow?
I walk up to the two of them and go, stop this right now. We're all wasting time here.
Is that your character or you talking?
That's my character talking.
I say this one's clearly up to something. As
Well,
I
right
kind of
now
like-
he's up against
I
a
kinda
wall.
stick
Just
my
let him
head through The
go.
door and go. Yeah, no shit. We still need to get out of here, though.
I
I should probably bang my head into the wall, trying to stick my head through the door.
Hey, what's gonna dunk? Ugh.
And at this point, as you stick your head in, Flint, you basically reach the stairway down as well, and you can see this. The drow is still in seemingly acting in shock and fear. Like he is completely a person being victimized right now. Like
Right.
he is not showing any signs of anything else.
On the one hand, he's a drow.
On the other hand, Mike.
On the other hand, yeah. On the other hand, you've got
On the other hand,
Kamar.
Kamar.
yeah. Right. So what I'm gonna do is pull Kamar off. I'm gonna sheath my weapon.
But I think you would have sheathed
However-
already to
Yeah.
search.
Oh yeah, because I've been searching. Yeah. Okay. Grab Kamar and I'm gonna pull him off.
Are you resisting this, Kamar?
yeah.
In that case, it's
Oh!
it's athletics checks. Basically, Matt, you have advantage because technically you're being helped by the drow here.
In the dangers of the Underdark, the party fights
So what
itself
athletics check
more
do you, Mike?
than the dangers of the Underdark.
I think it's more the party fights Mike.
24, even higher.
Well,
What'd you get, Matt?
I'm about to find out.
He hasn't rolled it yet.
Oh.
21.
Oh,
Wait,
Not
wait,
enough.
wait,
That's a
wait,
shame.
wait.
I'm waiting.
23
Oh.
balls. Damn it. That's my inspiration gone.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, we have inspiration. I completely forgot about that.
I have inspiration.
Yes. We all got inspiration last session.
Oh, I
You-
don't remember that. Okay.
You attempt to get a hand between yourself and Kamar, and at one point you really think you've managed to get it, but he is just too strong for you. He is staying in place. He's determined to keep that drow pinned against the wall.
What's our
I-
dice roll for inspiration? The D4.
It's 1d4.
It's D4 from BB.
I then kind of, I'm not really trying to hurt him. It's more of an intimidating action, but I then sort of pull him away from the wall slightly and then slam him back into the wall. Like, it's time you tell us what you're up to now. Like I've had enough of the
roll an
sneak
intimidation
shit.
check.
At this
Advantage.
point, hearing
Advantage?
this, I'm actually going to wander into the room and just be like, "Yes, I would like to know your intentions with our myconid friend here."
So wait, did you say
Gesturing to stool.
did you say advantage or disadvantage? Sorry.
In that case, this is at advantage, +2 now because Cobalt is basically stepping in and making it kind of scary as well.
Advantage.
So just roll an
and-
advantage, and then the best one gets +2
Oh, okay. Right.
on top of your normal bonus.
So it's either 16 or 7, so 18.
So 18.
18
He-
with the extra +2.
He actively kind of starts shivering in panic and says, "What do you mean? I'm just, I didn't do anything. I didn't kill him. It's all a test. It's no.
Kill who?
What?
Kill
I do the thing again. I slam him against the wall again and say, "Start making sense now!"
He actively screams and goes even more into a panic, speaking even more gibberish.
I'll say he said he killed someone. Who did you kill?
Did you mention this back in the cave? Did you mention this back in the prisons?
He mentioned.
No.
I think he did. He
test
mentioned
or
He mentioned,
something.
test.
they mentioned the test. He didn't say he killed anyone because no one actually
Nothing
asked
about
him.
killing people. I mean, then again, we've all probably killed people, but
Uh,
not really the point here.
At this point, you're fairly sure he's actually not. He can't hear you. He's too panicked. He's too. Like, this has been too much for him, basically. Like, he's not paying attention to anything you say as you ask, as you prod.
I kind of wish I had that
very aware that I
picture of
just-
me at the moment.
I took like
About
3
what,
actions,
sorry?
so someone else can.
I kind of wish that I had that picture of me at the moment because I could have probably used it to get Kamar away.
Picture of
Um,
you?
I
No, the picture of the goblin.
I just walk,
Look at this
put a
goblin!
hand on,
Look at it! Look
put
at
a
this!
hand on Kamar's shoulder and say, "I think that's enough. I think he's scared enough to do anything at this point."
Hmm. I do see the reason in this, because clearly. So I sort of slam him against the wall again, but let go of him, let him like fall to the floor. And I spit on him and say, "Cowardly piece of drow filth." Give him a kick, not anything that's like, again, not really trying to damage him, just kind of.
At that point, I'll kind of just slowly push Kamar away and say,
Well-
"That's enough."
And then yeah, I was gonna step away anyway,
I
so
know, but
I walk away.
As he drops to the ground, he kind of curls up and starts going into the fetal position, still kind of rocking away and saying, "It wasn't me. I didn't do it. It's a test. It's all a test.
Right.
It'll take me back."
I'm going to kneel down next to him on account of I don't think this is working too well.
Clearly.
It's like, right, hand on the shoulder. I'll just speak to him in Undercommon.
Mhm.
It's like, if you let us know what's going on, it's going to make things a lot easier. If we might be able to help you with whatever this test is.
That'll be a persuasion check at disadvantage just due to the state he's in.
Yeah.
Like any checks based on this guy at the moment are at disadvantage, just 'cause he's not
Right.
really paying attention.
Oh,
Intimidate him,
shit.
it works. Oh.
He
to be
yeah,
fair, you are a
5.
sorcerer, so like, yeah, something at
You
least.
bend down to kind of grab at his shoulder to calm him, and he seems to see this as some sort of threatening action. Shrieks and charges to the other side of the room to get away from you, curling up as far as he can in the corner
I
to get away from the
believe
wall.
he's running at me now, isn't he?
Or is he
I'm
running
in the
at
doorway.
You're in the doorway. Yeah, he's not running out of the room. He's running to the far side of the room. He's not going for an escape. He's going for a get away from this person.
I assume he's not running towards me.
I'm assuming you move towards the door.
I was sort of moving to somewhere else in the room. I didn't really go towards the door. But
In
for the
that
sake of
case-
ease, I'll say yes, I moved towards the door, I guess.
Well, tell you what, high or low. Actually, no,
High.
he'd stay away from you. He goes at keeping as far away from both now Flint and Kamar as he can.
Yeah.
And Cobalt.
Everyone,
He's running out of-
Too
enough.
threatening.
We're in
He's
a
running
rush.
out of
We have
it.
people following us. There's obviously nothing in here. Let's just leave and move on. If he wants to run away from the group, let him. I'm done with him. Let's
He
just
will
go.
lead
Mate.
them to us.
At this sound,
Yes.
there is a large sound as Ront relieves himself of his gas
Oh my.
coming down the stairs,
Wait,
and
straight up farting.
looks into the room and says, "What a miss."
Our paladin friend has been causing a bit of a ruckus.
Personally, I just think he's a bit of a racist.
And at which point he just walks past as if he couldn't care less about the situation, actually.
Yeah,
And goes
I
to move
just
out the doorway.
as he's walking past, I'll just say our drow companion is now somewhat terrified.
As he goes,
Is
As
this
I'm
being the
saying,
urge
some
to make
kind
this worse?
I'm trying to convey how little I cared about the companion as well. Like,
as you say that, he just
I-
says, "Sounds like a useless companion, then," and just carries on walking.
Sounds like this guy. I mean, I'm not, because he's a stupid orphan. I hate him. But
I'll just say, are you guys done? Because we're being chased. Let's leave now.
I get
At
the
this point,
feeling
you've
if we
been here
leave
maybe
now,
20 minutes or so.
Yeah, exactly. 20 minutes we didn't need to spend here.
I-
Oh yeah, that.
I'll say
make a
if we
difference.
leave now, I think we're abandoning our drow companion here.
Fine.
Hmm.
And then I just walk out.
Okay.
See, I don't think we should just leave him behind because as far as I can tell, we don't know exactly what he's done, what he's talking about, and it's just been
knows our
Kamara
plans.
attacking him.
I'm saying this.
I know our
so he-
plans.
Sorry.
I know our plans.
Yes, but the drow knows our plans. So if the drow's pursuing us, catch up and find him, he can tell them what we're planning at the moment.
So
Yeah,
wouldn't it make
this
more
is
sense?
my-
Wouldn't it make more
As
sense to
you're-
not leave behind and to take him with us?
As you're discussing
Yeah,
this,
I am reluctantly agreeing with you.
as you're discussing this, Stool suddenly starts to step forwards towards the drow.
Oh no.
I'm
Fire everywhere.
going to stay near him, but I'm not going to get in between them.
As he
Yes.
gets near, he does let
Right.
loose a cloud of spores that envelop both Cabal, as he kept near, and the drow. Anybody else who was actually keeping near would also be enveloped in this.
Yeah, same.
So that would be Flint as well.
Yeah, me as well.
As the spores take effect, you get not the normal telepathic communication, although you recognize these as the same spores. Instead, they seem to be a set of images that you don't recognize. You see a giant tower, seemingly carved from a mushroom, and you see fungal. You see humanoids roaming around as much fungal as they are human or flesh.
Bear in mind, I've seen myconids.
You've
if
seen
that's what they are.
myconids. These are nothing like myconids you've seen before. These are like these look like
Zombified
almost
humans.
humanoids that have been turned.
Kind of like infested.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Have I
Straight
Well,
up
you
Last
have
of Us,
seen
man.
them?
Like
Yeah.
mushroom zombies.
Last
of
You
Us.
have never seen anything like this before. Like this is not something you'd normally see. And then finally, you see another image. A being humanoid like the others you saw, but this one much more grand. Seemingly a more fungus than humanoid. She does bear a slight resemblance with to a woman, and I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, not very well.
Ish.
I don't have
Ish.
an
Not
image
really.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
can
saw
kind
I
of
can
see it.
kind of see it.
trying to get it for the stream as well. So that you see that, and then it all fades again, and you are back. The telepathic communication now happening, and you can hear Stool's voice in your head saying, "What's happening? Why is he like this?
Who made
I-
him this way?
I'll say, what were
Why are they
those?
fighting?"
What were those visions you just showed us?
Those weren't from me. Those were from him.
Like
And you
Oh.
get he's gesturing at the drow.
I'll turn to the drow and say, "Do you care to explain?"
He is still a gibbering wreck. Like he is not reacting to you at all at this point. Like he has been scared enough that he is
From
It's
the
not within your guys' ability right now to stop this without just waiting it out.
I'll sigh. I'll kind of sit down next to him, kind of make myself very non-threatening, like as much as I feel comfortable with given the situation, and just say, I think it is time you explain.
Roll an insight check.
Whenever Maptools catches up.
Taking a minute.
Maptools.
You sure it went through?
Yes, because the last time I did this, I hit it again and it rolled twice.
Oh, okay.
There
Yeah,
it is.
The state he's in.
So,
Sorry.
insight, isn't it? So that's extra 4, so 19.
Yeah.
The state he's in, again, you're fairly sure that you yourself aren't going to be able to get through to him until he's out of this state, and you're not, and he's beyond being talked out of this state. He is.
Is there anyone in the party I know he's responded to at all besides?
Only Storm.
Like not in this particular situation, just on the day or so we've been traveling.
Yeah,
Technically,
he's
he's
Not on the
responded
day
to me.
travelling, but you may know I've spoken to him while we're in the prison.
Did you actively speak to him, or did you just try and listen in on him? Because I don't think
I spoke to him a little bit, but he didn't really say
you
much
also
to me. But
went
I
up
was
to him and
speaking
said-
in I think I was speaking in Elven.
You also walked up to him and said, "This is part of the test. Bear in mind."
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you might think I know something more than I actually do. So I
No,
don't know.
because we had this confrontation already. You told me.
Yeah,
you were
we've
messing
already
with
talked
him.
about this.
I'll kind of stick my head out the door and ask for either Shushar or Eldith, probably, to see if they can talk to him. Believing they're probably the most neutral sort of
Shushar just
friendly.
looks at you and says, "I would not know what to say." And Eldith just says, "And I don't really have care to talk a drow out of. If a drow wants to go catatonic, then let it. In my opinion, makes the world a safer place."
As I said, we need to move on.
And we can't leave him here, though. If our pursuers, should there be any, find him, he knows of our plans.
There is a particular way out of this. Not that you may like it, but we always dispose of him.
No, that is not an option.
How do we know he's not doing this deliberately to waste our time? Let the drow, his potential friends, catch up on us.
Then
He's
how long have we
still
been here for
clearly
now?
hiding something.
Were you in the room when Stool released spores?
Oh,
I was not.
Only
I walked
Flint
out.
and
It was only
Flint and
Cobalt
Bob
and Flint that
Dylan's
actually.
I'll
yeah.
say I have some insight into that now, thanks to our Myconid friend, but without knowing what they mean, I can't say for certain the full meaning. Only the drow can tell us that, and he is in no position to respond to myself or you, Kamar.
How about you carry him? Let's just move on. Just carry him with
I-
us.
Carry him.
He will
Me
not
or him.
approve of me going near him.
He'd probably
His
approve of me.
state.
I'll be fine.
I'll just
Just go up to him, pick him up. You'll be fine with that.
I'll say myself and Kamar can go nowhere near him for the time being. It would have to be someone else picking him up.
Yeah. As silly as it is be, if we can't get him, if he's not like this, I'm not saying this out loud, by the way. If we can't convince him to come with us,
Well, tell you what, if you're not saying it out loud,
Don't
then,
say it.
unless you're actively saying it in character, then don't say it from player to player.
Bear in mind, me and Flint currently have telepathy going.
You do, along with the drow and Stool. Like
Also true.
It's not. You don't get to pick and choose. It is everybody in the
Yeah.
communication is in the communication.
I know
Same
it's
as
more
Jack.
just
His-
Well, if we
more
can't
just-
take him with
there
us,
is that sort of element of
Yep.
he might be conveying things still.
There is that.
okay, in that case, I'll just say we need to leave. If if you aren't willing to come with us, there's no telling what could happen if the drow do find you. it's safer to come with us for now.
He doesn't respond to you. He is not. He's completely oblivious to all outside him at this point.
I'm going to walk back in the
Looks like I'm
room.
carrying him.
I'm going to walk right up to him, put my hands above his shoulders, look him in the eye.
He shrieks upon being touched, and again attempts to crawl away.
And I'm going to
Completely
say, this is
terrified.
part of the test.
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage here.
11. Shit. Got a good roll on that.
He stops and looks at you and nods, and then gets to his feet.
Remember the
Says,
test. You can do this.
We should be going
Yes.
to the
Remember
grove.
the test. You've passed so far. Let's keep it like that.
When he
Yes.
says the grove,
And he kind of looks down to Storm and says, "Never like grove," and then moves out of the building. Sorry, what were you saying, Phil?
as he's
Knowledge check.
doing that, I kind of say, "Do you feel like sharing why you need to get to the grove, or those visions you shared with us?"
We need to get to the grove to get the young one back home, and I don't know what you're referring to.
Can I try and flash the visions back at him?
It's not really a
Collect
thing.
these
You're not accomplished enough telepathy that you can really do this. Like, the only reason he could do it is because that's the place his mind was in. It wasn't it wasn't
thing.
actively that he was forcing it. It was just the place
Can
his
I
head was in.
insight check on like both of those things then? Him saying getting stool home and
Yep, yeah, you
that
very much
doesn't
can.
know what he's doing.
Can I knowledge
okay,
check
so
Never Like
for-
Grove? Is it something we've been told about
that'd
before?
be a history check. I can't remember, so you can do another history check if you want.
13.
13? You have never heard of it.
15 for getting stool home and 17 for
The visions.
he has no idea what I'm on about.
You kind of get the opinion, not that he's when he first get into the little one home, it seems that he's not actively lying, but it's almost like he's on autopilot at the time, like he's not thinking about his answer when he says it.
Right.
The second time, the visions, he legitimately doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Like he seems completely.
I'll just
unsure.
kind of say, I'll describe the fungi humanoid lady. See if that, and like pay attention to how he responds to that. See if
Roll
that.
a charisma check to see how well you describe it.
Oh no.
There we
3.
go. Oh dear. Oh
I
dear.
have
say-
charisma.
You say
Oh dear,
three
dear.
words in your attempts to describe this. In between many ums and ers, those three
That's it.
words are mushroom, woman, mushroom.
Very descriptive.
He just
Hu-
looks at you and raises an
humanoid-
eyebrow.
Mushroom lady. I think it was a lady. Do mushrooms have genders? I actually
This one
turned to
does.
stool and asked this.
What's the gender? I don't know.
I actually, at that point,
no,
I actually go,
they actually do. Yeah, sorry. He says back to you. Yes.
I actually then kind of go, do I have a gender?
No.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
Do
don't,
mushrooms have genders? Do I have a gender? What's a gender?
That's basically my thought process
Yeah.
at the moment.
I have an agenda. Agenda.
Actually, I guess it's how far you take it. Like.
Oh, I say.
My
Well,
gender
no,
is
well,
anger
no,
and
'cause
stupidity.
in this situation in the D&D, like in a fantastical magical world, it's not necessarily what sex organs you have. It's it's even in this day and age, it's not that, but it's
Cobalt would be genderless
uh
in my mind.
no, you wouldn't
No.
be, based on how you were created. You wouldn't necessarily know
Right.
this, but
Okay, I'm
like-
with you now.
yeah, for the sake of
Okay, as far as Cobalt's concerned, he's genderless though.
Did
Yeah,
Flint
that's
give Cobalt a dick?
I'm assuming
I
not,
have got a rock
I would-
hard
I would
shaft
assume
right
not.
here for you.
unless it was you were making a golem for a very specific purpose. Anyway, so Is anybody
may
doing
be
anything else?
quite
Seraph seems to be going to move out of the stalagmite now.
I
Thanks
will
for that
I will
conversation.
move
let-
alongside him on the way out of the room, as in, kind of, just following, like sort of going with him, kind of as a sign of encouragement, as in, yes, he's doing the right thing. Yes, because I've said, remember, this is a test, as I said before. So I'm just going to follow with him, and if he looks at me, I'll just nod.
He doesn't look back. He seems to just go to a position with the rest of the group and then awaits the rest of you, ready to move
Okay.
on.
I'll go.
I walk up behind Renlin, Laurie's character. Sorry,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yes.
Renlin, and I quietly try to ask, "The devil are you talking about when you about a test?" I try to do that stealthily so nobody hears.
Yeah. Well,
So-
bear in mind he's actively following next to Seraph, so this will be a stealth check on your behalf.
Yep, that's fine.
As an aside, I'll be casting light on my shield again.
Okay.
I'm probably going to try and get up to towards the front of the group again. I assume.
Yeah.
Same
Nobody's
party
moved
order.
on, so you can take up party order again. That's
Yeah, I
that's
assume Ron's up near the front.
Ron's just moved back to his position. Yeah, he's just waiting impatiently, tapping his foot, arms folded, growling. Sorry, 15.
14.
14.
Hey, not that.
Well,
It
you're going
seems-
next to him, weren't you?
I just went
Oh.
with him to the
Just
group.
just for the walk back as well. I understood. Yeah,
Not that it really
it doesn't
matters.
seem like Seraph hears this, but Renlin, yes, you do hear Kamar saying this next to you.
I look at him and grin, and then look back to where I was looking before.
I wait for a moment, I nod, and then say, "Grinning is not an answer."
I blank this. As far as Renan is concerned, it's like, I know things you don't know.
I say,
Ah,
I'm not actually
Oh,
saying that,
dear.
but I'm just sort of like,
Roll a deception check at advantage. Mike, roll an
Wait.
insight check.
deception.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Yeah,
you're
actual
basically
lie,
hiding
I
the
think.
fact, like you're trying to make it seem like you know more than you do here. Like you're very much you have bonuses here, which is why I'm giving you the advantage. Like you do have the advantage here, but you are still lying to try and make yourself feel bigger in this guy's eyes.
I mean,
18.
as far as Renan knows, he thinks he knows more than he actually does, because he thinks he knows about this test. He doesn't really know what it is, but it's worked for Britain to know so far.
18.
Yeah,
The
you
look,
beat my
the
13.
look that Renlin gives you is the look of somebody who has heard the very basics, like the 1% of something, and is now using that 1% to make it look like they know the 100%.
Do I make
That
this
makes sense.
situation worse?
Go on, Mike. You know that's all you can do.
Not. I'm not purposely trying to derail. I'm just trying to think what I would do.
I'm gonna
Okay,
have to
so
roll a
I
stream,
would-
by the way, to Berserk
10,
reverse the
15
party.
minutes.
I would not particularly subtly. But an attempt at subtly at least. Just take a moment, go. "Oh." You'd like be able to see the cogs working in my head as I mull this over, and like, oh yes, I totally understand. Yes, good. Yeah.
I just look back and go, as far as
Um,
I'm concerned, he believed everything I just said. There we go. It's like,
And with that, the
Just
party
look back in, like-
everybody who was going back from the Stalagmite has now rejoined the party.
oh, thank fuck for
Um,
that.
With the telepathy, can you kind of just talk between like two people
Nope.
without
It's
the
like
others staring?
It's like being in a room. Like as soon as spores go off, everybody who's in the spores is now in that room.
It's like creating a Skype
like
call.
people in the room are going to hear it.
Everyone hears it, right?
Yeah, it is the Skype call. It's the Myconid equivalent of a Skype.
Okay, I'll
Skype
just ask Skull
I
if
get
he
it.
knew anything about those visions, like if they meant anything to him.
He says, I don't know anything about them. They look scary though. I don't like them. I want to go home.
We'll get you home.
Who doesn't?
And he just kind of hovels in at your side again, like getting close for comfort.
I just pat.
Oh, ugly duckling.
And with that, I think the party's reformed and is heading off again.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
for convenience's sake, we'll say you carry on the journey. Another however long passes before the exhaustion starts to hit. You gather your food, you set up a camp, and once more the night passes easily. And as you wake up on what would be the third morning of since your escape, second morning since your escape, sorry, we're going to call it there for the session, I think. Like, it is almost 10 o'clock, and we're not going to
turn
start
to Jim Jar and say, that'll be 30 gold, please.
He's not wrong.
The night before when you did that, he would have said double or nothing again.
And I would have said yes.
Okay.
Which puts us up to 60 gold now. He owes me.
That is true.
Bill's going to be a rich man when he gets out of here.
I'm going to be a rich man until the one time Beanie goes, no.
I was going to say, eventually there is going to be an encounter at camp, I assume.
The problem is I can't pay at this point. So.
Neither can he,
Actually, no, wait, it doesn't matter because it's double or nothing.
It's double or nothing. Like, the only thing that happens is it goes down to 0. Yeah.
So, how much experience did we get for that one encounter?
I wish we had more encounters. And there's roleplay stuff in there as well.
I was going to say, this was much more of a roleplay session than a encounter. There will be
this is fun.
more fights and stuff coming up. This was just a get to know the people that you're traveling with episode.
Oh, I wish I didn't know them.
I'm glad you did.
There's a lot of people you're traveling with.
I was going to say, there's a couple of people here, it's just like, why? Looking at
I have
you,
reasons.
Mike.
I have reasons.
I'm sure you do.
They're good reasons.
They're really not.
My mummy told me so.
My mummy told me all orcs need to be killed. Because they're orcs.
You all gain
Also drow.
10 experience for that.
10
And I'm also
experience.
gonna-
I'll take it.
Considering how heavy roleplay that session was rather than encounters, I'm also going to give you all 2 inspiration points for that. Like, you all played your characters. That was a very fun narrative.
I can't track inspiration.
So
I can't track multiple inspirations.
10 XP in a session? Whoa.
again,
That's the least I've ever got.
That, but also,
Spicy.
that was much more of a roleplay session. It is
Yeah.
a roleplay game. They do happen, unfortunately. Again, you're traveling with what, 12, 14 people.
Hey, I got to cast a
So
spell.
what- so
I
what
cast
you're
one
saying-
spell today.
What you're
that's
saying
fair.
is that we need to slowly whittle down the rest of them so there's more experience for us.
I tried to get rid of one of the NPCs, and you guys
No, I tried
tried
to
so
get rid of one
hard
of
to
the
keep them
NPCs.
around.
Wait,
I've
which
tried to
one?
get rid of 2 NPCs.
But we need to save Dritz.
We need to get rid of Mike, is what you're saying.
Yeah, actually, get rid of PC. Fuck the NPCs; they can stay. Get rid of the fucking PC.
This is the
No.
thing.
Anyway.
I wanted to keep the orc. He's been useful. He's been more useful than Mike. It's like, I'm not
Yeah.
losing the orc.
Yeah, he actually has.
Bye.
In the sense that at least he hasn't fallen unconscious as much. Yeah?
Not
Yeah.
level up yet.
Orc's been a good guy, so... you
I
know.
level up now.
But I have also seen Mike's been casting spells, so he does have his use.
Little bit.
A little bit. Just
Anyway.
a little bit.
I'm gonna end the stream there. So thank you for watching, folks, and we
Yes,
will catch
indeed.
you not next Friday, not the Friday after, but the
What?
Friday after that. Unfortunately, me and Matt are away next Friday, and Mike is away the following Friday.
Oh
Yeah.
man, there's always one
Yes,
person
mate.
ruining it.
Oh,
Hopefully, after
the
that, we
worst.
should have a few weeks at least where
So,
there's nobody away. So,
3 weeks off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry about that.
unfortunately,
So 29th is the next one.
yes.
Sorry, 28th even. I'm
What we
looking at
can
Saturday
do
Yes.
is we can also play some more Dungeon Defenders on Fridays as well as Wednesdays.
I won't be here next Friday again. I'm going home, unfortunately. Either way, that's something to talk about off stream. So catch you
Yeah.
folks later.
Bye bye.
Thanks for the game.